Let's take a peaceful journey through one of the most unforgettable eras in basketball history, the story of the Chicago Bulls dynasty during the 1990s. Over the next few hours, we'll quietly revisit each season, year by year, starting from the early signs of greatness and moving all the way through to the team's final championship run. We'll explore the rise of Michael Jordan, the evolution of Scottie Pippen, the unique coaching style of Phil Jackson, and the unforgettable chemistry that would shape one of the most dominant teams in the history of sports. Along the way, you'll hear about legendary playoff matchups, season records, key role players, rivalries with teams like the Pistons, Knicks and Jazz, and the quieter moments behind the headlines. We'll touch on Jordan's first retirement and his return, the impact of Dennis Rodman, and the cultural legacy that followed the Bulls wherever they played. Each season tells its own story, with its own rhythm, its own challenges, and its own quiet triumphs. This is a soft, season-by-season guide through a decade of excellence. Let's begin. In the early 1980s, the landscape of basketball was beginning to shift, shaped by the emergence of new talents and the evolution of the game itself. Among those who would soon change the course of basketball history was a young man named Michael Jordan, who after a stellar collegiate career at the University of North Carolina, entered the National Basketball Association in 1984. The Chicago Bulls, a franchise that had yet to taste significant success, selected Jordan with the third overall pick in the NBA draft, a decision that would prove to be transformative not just for the team, but for the entire league. As Michael Jordan stepped onto the hardwood for his inaugural season with the Bulls, anticipation hung in the air. Fans and analysts alike were eager to see if this young shooting guard could live up to the hype that surrounded him. From the very beginning, Jordan showcased an extraordinary blend of athleticism, skill, and charisma that would captivate audiences. In his rookie season, he averaged an impressive 27 points per game, quickly establishing himself as a formidable scorer. His ability to leap and finish at the rim was nothing short of breathtaking, earning him the nickname Air Jordan. Yet it was not merely his scoring prowess that set him apart. It was his work ethic and competitive spirit that would come to define his career. The Chicago Bulls, however, were not without their struggles. In the 1984-85 season, the team finished with a record of 38 wins and 44 losses, a reflection of the growing pains associated with integrating a rookie into the lineup. Despite the team's challenges, Jordan's impact was undeniable. He became the first rookie since the legendary Wilt Chamberlain to score over 2,000 points in a single season, and he was named the NBA Rookie of the Year. This accolade was just the beginning of what would become a storied career, but it also laid the groundwork for the expectations that would follow. As the 1985-86 season commenced, the Bulls sought to build upon the foundation laid in Jordan's rookie year. The team's management recognized the need for additional talent to complement their burgeoning star. They made the strategic decision to draft Scottie Pippen, a versatile forward from the University of Central Arkansas, who would prove to be an essential partner to Jordan. Pippen's arrival marked a pivotal moment for the franchise. Together, Jordan and Pippen would form one of the most iconic duos in sports history. During this season, Michael Jordan faced a significant setback. In a game against the Boston Celtics, he suffered a broken foot that sidelined him for a substantial portion of the season. This injury was a bitter pill for both Jordan and the Bulls to swallow, as the team was poised to make a leap in the standings. However, during the time he was recovering, Jordan continued to work diligently, focusing on rehabilitation and conditioning, which would only enhance his resolve upon his return. When he finally stepped back onto the court, it was clear that he had not lost his edge. The Bulls were able to make a run in the playoffs, but they were ultimately eliminated by the Celtics, who were a powerhouse during that era. The following season, 1986-87, marked a turning point in the Bulls' trajectory. Jordan returned with a vengeance, leading the league in scoring with an astounding average of 37 points per game. His relentless pursuit of excellence not only elevated his own game, but also inspired his teammates to rise to the occasion. The Bulls finished the season with a record of 41 wins and 41 losses, a sign of progress, yet they were still searching for the elusive playoff success that had evaded them in previous years. As they entered the playoffs, the Bulls faced a familiar foe, the Boston Celtics, led by the formidable Larry Bird. This matchup was emblematic of the era, pitting two of the league's brightest stars against each other. Despite Jordan's heroic efforts, which included a memorable performance in which he scored 63 points in a single game, the Bulls were ultimately ousted by the Celtics once again. However, the seeds of greatness were being sown, and the basketball world was beginning to take notice of the Bulls' potential. In the 1987-88 season, Michael Jordan reached new heights. He not only led the league in scoring yet again, but he also showcased his all-around game by becoming the NBA Defensive Player of the Year. This dual achievement underscored his versatility and commitment to excellence on both ends of the court. The Bulls, buoyed by Jordan's remarkable performances, finished the season with a record of 55 wins and 27 losses. This marked a significant leap forward, and the team was finally seen as a legitimate contender in the Eastern Conference. The playoffs presented new challenges, and the Bulls faced the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. The series was a hard-fought battle, but it was in Game 5 that Jordan solidified his reputation as one of the game's greats. In a moment that would forever be etched in the annals of basketball history, he hit a buzzer-beater over Craig Ello, a shot that not only secured the series victory, but also symbolized Jordan's emergence as a clutch performer. The Bulls advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they faced the Detroit Pistons, a team known for its physical style of play and tenacity. Despite their best efforts, the Bulls fell short, losing to the Pistons in a hard-fought series that exposed the need for further growth and development. The following season, 1988-89, the Bulls continued to refine their roster and strategies, focusing on overcoming the challenges posed by the Pistons, who had become their primary rival. The Bulls finished the regular season with a record of 57 wins and 25 losses, a testament to the growth and cohesion that had developed within the team. Jordan continued to dazzle fans and critics alike with his scoring ability, averaging 32 points per game, while Pippen emerged as a crucial contributor, showcasing his defensive prowess and playmaking skills. As they entered the playoffs, the Bulls were determined to break the cycle of defeat at the hands of the Pistons. The Eastern Conference Finals once again pitted the two teams against each other, and the series was marked by intense physicality and fierce competition. The Bulls fought valiantly, but once again, they were unable to overcome the Pistons' rugged style of play, falling short in a hard-fought series. Despite the disappointment, the Bulls were not deterred. They were learning valuable lessons and gaining invaluable experience that would serve them well in the seasons to come. In those foundational years, from 1984 to 1989, Michael Jordan not only established himself as a transcendent player, but also laid the groundwork for the Chicago Bulls' future success. The combination of his individual brilliance, the emergence of Scottie Pippen, and the lessons learned from playoff defeats would ultimately set the stage for the Bulls' dominance in the coming decade. Jordan's relentless pursuit of greatness, coupled with the unwavering support of his teammates, would soon culminate in a dynasty that would redefine basketball and leave an indelible mark on the sport's history. As the Bulls prepared to enter the 1990 season, the world would soon witness the culmination of years of hard work, perseverance, and the unyielding spirit of a champion. In the late 1980s, the landscape of professional basketball was undergoing a transformation, one that would set the stage for a new era of the game. The Chicago Bulls, a franchise with budding potential, found themselves at a pivotal crossroads in 1989. The team had experienced a roller coaster of successes and disappointments in the years prior, and the pressure was mounting. In the wake of a disappointing playoff exit in the 1988 season, the Bulls made a significant decision that would alter the course of their history. They parted ways with their head coach, Doug Collins, who had led the team since 1987, and in his stead, they turned to a man whose reputation was still on the rise, but whose vision for basketball was already becoming clear: Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson was not an unfamiliar face to the basketball community. He had played in the National Basketball Association for the New York Knicks in the late 1960s and early 1970s, earning a reputation as a tenacious forward. However, it was as a coach that Jackson would soon make his mark. After several years as an assistant coach with the Bulls, and a stint as head coach of the Continental Basketball Association's Albany Patroons, Jackson was eager to prove that his innovative ideas could translate into success at the highest level. His arrival in Chicago marked a philosophical shift that would soon resonate throughout the organization. One of the most profound changes Jackson brought with him was the adoption of the triangle offense, a system he had learned under the tutelage of legendary coach Tex Winter. The triangle offense is built upon the principles of spacing, ball movement, and teamwork, allowing players to read the defense and make decisions in real time. This approach emphasized the collective effort of the team, rather than reliance on individual stars. While it was clear that the Bulls had a transcendent talent in Michael Jordan, the triangle offense would help to elevate the entire roster and create a more cohesive unit. As Jackson settled into his role as head coach, he began to implement the triangle offense gradually. The transition was not without its challenges, as the players were accustomed to a more traditional style of play that revolved around isolation and one-on-one situations. Jackson, however, was patient and understanding. He recognized that change takes time, and he worked diligently to instill confidence in his players. He emphasized the importance of trust and communication, encouraging them to embrace the new system while still allowing their individual skills to shine. The 1989-90 season was a period of adjustment for the Bulls. Early on, there were moments of struggle as players grappled with the new offensive philosophy. Some questioned the effectiveness of the triangle offense, especially in the heat of competition. Yet, Jackson remained steadfast in his belief that this approach would yield greater success in the long run. He fostered an environment where players felt empowered to share their thoughts and ideas, creating a sense of collaboration that was essential for the team's growth. As the season progressed, the Bulls began to find their rhythm. The triangle offense allowed for a more fluid style of play, with players moving without the ball and making quick decisions based on the defense's positioning. Michael Jordan, who had often relied on his extraordinary scoring ability, began to embrace the idea of involving his teammates more actively in the offense. The results were promising, as the Bulls started to string together wins and build momentum. One of the defining moments of that season came in March of 1990. The Bulls faced off against the Detroit Pistons, a team that had become their primary rival. The Pistons were known for their physical style of play and their bad boys reputation, which made them a formidable opponent. In a tightly contested game, the Bulls showcased the fruits of their labor under Jackson's guidance. The triangle offense allowed them to create open looks, and the teamwork that Jackson had instilled paid off as they secured a hard-fought victory. This win served as a turning point for the team, bolstering their confidence and belief in the new system. As the regular season came to a close, the Bulls found themselves with a record of 55 wins and 27 losses, a significant improvement from the previous year. They entered the playoffs with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Jackson's influence was palpable, as he had not only transformed the team's playing style but also their mentality. He encouraged his players to focus on the process rather than the outcome, fostering resilience and a collective spirit. In the playoffs, the Bulls faced the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round. The series was a test of their mettle, but the Bulls emerged victorious, showcasing the effectiveness of the triangle offense and the growth they had achieved under Jackson's leadership. Next, they faced the New York Knicks, another tough opponent that would challenge their resolve. The series was a hard-fought battle, but the Bulls continued to demonstrate their newfound cohesiveness and adaptability. Unfortunately, they ultimately fell to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, a familiar foe that had once again thwarted their championship aspirations. Despite the disappointment of not reaching the NBA Finals, the 1989-90 season was a crucial turning point for the Bulls. Phil Jackson's arrival had ushered in a new era of basketball in Chicago, one that prioritized teamwork, trust, and a commitment to a shared vision. The foundation that Jackson laid during that season would serve as the springboard for future success. His ability to connect with players and instill a sense of purpose would become hallmarks of his coaching philosophy, as he continued to refine the triangle offense in the years to come. In the seasons that followed, the triangle offense would evolve and adapt, but its core principles remained intact. Jackson's influence extended beyond the X's and O's of basketball. He cultivated a culture of mindfulness and self-awareness within the team. He encouraged his players to embrace their roles while also pushing them to grow and develop as individuals. This holistic approach not only fostered on-court success, but also built lasting relationships among the players. As the Bulls entered the next chapter of their journey, they would soon find themselves on the brink of greatness. Phil Jackson's vision and leadership would guide them to 6 NBA championships in the 90s, solidifying their legacy as one of the greatest dynasties in sports history. Yet it is essential to remember that this remarkable journey began with a coaching change and a philosophical shift, one that transformed a talented group of players into a cohesive unit capable of achieving extraordinary feats. The seeds of success were planted in the 1989-90 season, and the influence of Phil Jackson would continue to resonate throughout the annals of basketball history. In the realm of basketball history, the 1989-90 season stands as a pivotal chapter, particularly for the Chicago Bulls, who found themselves on the precipice of greatness yet again. Emerging from the previous season, the Bulls had tasted the bitterness of defeat in the playoffs, having been ousted by the Detroit Pistons, a team that would soon earn the moniker Bad Boys due to their aggressive style of play and tenacious defense. This season was marked not only by the fierce competition within the league, but also by the profound transformation that the Chicago Bulls underwent in their quest for dominance. As the season commenced, the Bulls were fueled by a singular focus: to overcome the hurdles that had previously thwarted their aspirations. The roster was anchored by the extraordinary talent of Michael Jordan, whose prowess on the court was becoming increasingly evident. Alongside him was Scottie Pippen, a player whose skill set was evolving and whose contributions were becoming indispensable. The Bulls were beginning to find their rhythm, and they entered the season with a sense of determination that was palpable. The regular season unfolded with the Bulls showcasing their formidable capabilities, finishing with a record that solidified their status as one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. Their offensive prowess was complemented by a defense that, while not yet at its peak, was beginning to coalesce into a unit that could challenge the most formidable opponents. As the Bulls navigated through the regular season, they encountered a variety of teams, each presenting unique challenges, yet they managed to maintain their focus, driven by the memories of their prior playoff failures. The Detroit Pistons, however, loomed large as the most significant obstacle on the horizon. The rivalry between the Bulls and the Pistons had intensified, fueled by the contrasting styles of play and the psychological warfare that often accompanied their matchups. The Pistons, under the guidance of coach Chuck Daly, had cultivated a reputation for their physical, no-holds-barred approach to the game. Key players such as Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and Dennis Rodman formed a core that thrived on aggression and intimidation. Their ability to disrupt the flow of the game and impose their will on opponents became a hallmark of their success. As the playoffs approached, the anticipation surrounding a potential rematch between the Bulls and the Pistons grew. The Bulls were eager to prove that they had evolved since their last encounter, and the experience gained from the previous year's playoff run served as a crucible for their growth. They had learned valuable lessons about resilience and the importance of mental fortitude in the face of adversity. The stage was set for a dramatic showdown, and the atmosphere was charged with tension as the two teams prepared to clash once more. In the Eastern Conference Finals, the Bulls faced the Pistons in what would become a legendary series, one that would be etched into the annals of basketball lore. The games were fiercely contested, characterized by intense physicality and strategic maneuvering. The Pistons employed their signature style, leveraging their defensive prowess to stifle the Bulls' offense. Each game unfolded like a battle, with both teams exchanging blows, neither willing to yield an inch. Despite the Bulls' best efforts, the Pistons proved to be a formidable adversary. The series unfolded in a grueling fashion, with the Pistons utilizing their experience and tactical acumen to exploit the Bulls' weaknesses. In critical moments, the Pistons' ability to execute under pressure became evident, and the Bulls found themselves grappling with the weight of their previous failures. The psychological toll of the series was palpable, and as the games progressed, the specter of doubt began to creep into the minds of the Bulls. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, the Bulls ultimately fell short, succumbing to the Pistons in a decisive Game 7. The final moments of the game were laden with disappointment, as the realization of defeat washed over the team and its supporters. The Pistons celebrated their victory, having successfully defended their title, while the Bulls were left to grapple with the harsh reality of their situation. Yet within the depths of that disappointment lay the seeds of determination. The bitter loss served as a catalyst for the Bulls, igniting a fierce resolve that would shape their future endeavors. In the aftermath of the defeat, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, along with the rest of the team, reflected on the series and the lessons learned. They understood that to ascend to the pinnacle of the sport, they needed to adapt and evolve further. The pain of defeat became a driving force, propelling them to recommit to their training and to refine their skills. In the months that followed, the Bulls immersed themselves in preparation for the next season. They studied their performance, analyzing what had gone wrong and where they could improve. The coaching staff, led by Phil Jackson, began to implement strategies that would leverage the team's strengths while addressing their vulnerabilities. The focus shifted towards building not only individual skills, but also fostering a deeper sense of teamwork and cohesion. The summer of 1990 was marked by long hours in the gym, where Jordan and Pippen honed their craft, pushing each other to new heights. They understood that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but the taste of defeat lingered in their minds, serving as a constant reminder of the work that lay ahead. With each passing day, their resolve grew stronger, and the desire to dethrone the Pistons became an all-consuming goal. As the new season approached, the Bulls entered with a renewed sense of purpose. They had learned from their past mistakes and were determined to rewrite their narrative. The sting of the previous playoff loss had transformed into a powerful motivation, uniting the team in their pursuit of excellence. The lessons learned from the Pistons became the foundation upon which they would build their future success. Thus, the 1990 season marked not just a chapter of defeat for the Chicago Bulls, but rather a turning point, a prelude to the greatness that awaited them in the years to come. The resolve forged in the fires of adversity would soon propel them to heights previously unimagined, as they began their ascent towards becoming one of the most iconic dynasties in basketball history. The echoes of that bitter playoff loss would resonate through the halls of the United Center for years to follow, serving as a reminder of the power of perseverance and the unyielding spirit of competition. In the realm of professional basketball, the early 90s marked a significant turning point, particularly for the Chicago Bulls. The 1990-91 season was not merely a chapter in the annals of sports history. It was the dawning of a new era, characterized by the emergence of one of the most iconic dynasties in the game. The Bulls, under the astute guidance of their head coach Phil Jackson, and with the extraordinary talent of Michael Jordan, were poised to make their mark in the National Basketball Association. The season began with a sense of anticipation, as the Bulls had been building toward this moment for several years. Michael Jordan, already a household name, was coming off another outstanding individual season, having earned the Most Valuable Player award in 1990. His ability to elevate his game was complemented by a supporting cast that included the likes of Scottie Pippen, a versatile forward whose defensive prowess and playmaking skills were becoming increasingly recognized. The Bulls had a strong roster that also featured the sharp-shooting guard John Paxson and the formidable center Bill Cartwright, who provided a solid foundation in the paint. As the regular season unfolded, the Bulls showcased their talent and resilience. They finished with a record of 61 wins and 21 losses, securing the top seed in the Eastern Conference. This remarkable performance was a testament to their chemistry and the strategic implementation of Jackson's triangle offense, which emphasized ball movement and unselfish play. The Bulls' style of play was a reflection of their collective mindset, teamwork, discipline, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. In the playoffs, the Bulls faced a series of formidable opponents. In the first round, they dispatched the New York Knicks, a team known for its rugged defense and physical play. The Bulls won the series in 3 straight games, demonstrating their capacity to perform under pressure. In the conference semifinals, they encountered the Philadelphia 76ers, led by the talented guard Allen Iverson and the seasoned forward Charles Barkley. The Bulls emerged victorious once again, winning the series 4-1, which propelled them into the Eastern Conference Finals. There, they met the Detroit Pistons, a team that had been a significant thorn in their side for several years. The Pistons, known as the Bad Boys for their aggressive style of play and physicality, had denied the Bulls a chance at the championship in the previous seasons. The rivalry between these two teams was intense, fueled by fierce competition and a desire for supremacy. The Bulls had come close, but the Pistons had always seemed to thwart their efforts, employing a strategy that focused on wearing down Jordan with relentless double teams and physical play. However, the tide had begun to turn. The Bulls displayed remarkable resilience and determination throughout the series. In a pivotal Game 7, held at the Palace of Auburn Hills, the Bulls finally broke through the barrier that had held them back for so long. Michael Jordan's performance was nothing short of spectacular, as he scored 39 points, showcasing his ability to rise to the occasion when it mattered most. The Bulls won the game and the series, finally overcoming the Pistons and earning their place in the NBA Finals. The stage was now set for the Bulls to face the Los Angeles Lakers, a franchise with a storied history and a legacy of greatness. The Lakers, led by the legendary Magic Johnson, had been perennial contenders and were seeking their own championship glory. The contrast between the two teams was striking. The Bulls represented a new generation of basketball, while the Lakers embodied the classic era of the game. This matchup was not just a clash of teams, but a collision of eras, each vying for supremacy on the grandest stage of all. The NBA Finals began in June of 1991, with the first 2 games taking place at the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. The atmosphere was electric, as fans from both sides filled the arena, eager to witness history. The Bulls, buoyed by their recent success, approached the series with confidence, determined to make their mark. In Game 1, the Bulls seized the opportunity, winning a hard-fought contest by a score of 98-94. Michael Jordan's brilliance was evident as he scored 34 points, while Scottie Pippen contributed significantly with his all-around play. The Lakers responded in Game 2, showcasing their own prowess and resilience. They managed to tie the series, winning by a score of 100-92. The stage was set for a pivotal Game 3, which would take place in Chicago, marking the first time the Bulls would play in the finals on their home court. The excitement in the city was palpable, as fans filled the United Center, eager to witness their team make history. In Game 3, the Bulls delivered a performance that would etch itself into the memories of basketball fans for generations. Led by Michael Jordan, who scored an astonishing 55 points, the Bulls defeated the Lakers 100-93. Jordan's ability to perform under pressure was on full display, as he showcased his scoring prowess, deftly navigating through the Lakers' defense. The Bulls' victory in this game was not merely a win, it was a statement that they had arrived as a legitimate force in the NBA. With the series now in their favor, the Bulls continued to build momentum. In Game 4, they secured another victory, winning 100-83 and taking a commanding 3-1 lead. The Lakers, facing the prospect of elimination, fought valiantly in Game 5, but the Bulls proved too strong. In a hard-fought contest, the Bulls emerged victorious once again, clinching the championship with a score of 100-85. As the final buzzer sounded, the realization of their achievement washed over the Bulls and their fans. They had finally captured their first NBA championship, and the moment was monumental. Michael Jordan, who was named the finals' most valuable player, had solidified his status as one of the greatest players in the history of the game. His leadership, skill, and determination had propelled the Bulls to this moment, and the victory was not just a personal triumph, but a culmination of years of hard work and perseverance. The impact of this championship extended far beyond the confines of the basketball court. It signified a shift in the landscape of the NBA, as the Chicago Bulls transformed into a global brand, with Michael Jordan at the helm. The victory resonated with fans across the United States and around the world, marking the beginning of a dynasty that would dominate the league throughout the decade. The Bulls would go on to win a total of 6 championships in the 90s, establishing themselves as one of the most successful franchises in the history of the sport. In the years that followed, the legacy of the 1990-91 Chicago Bulls would endure. They not only revolutionized the game with their style of play, but also inspired a new generation of players and fans. The combination of skill, teamwork, and a relentless pursuit of excellence became the hallmark of the Bulls' identity, a blueprint that future teams would strive to emulate. As we reflect on this pivotal moment in basketball history, we recognize that the journey of the Chicago Bulls was not merely about winning games. It was about breaking barriers, overcoming adversity, and defining a legacy that would resonate for decades to come. The victory in the NBA Finals was a testament to the power of determination, teamwork, and the unwavering belief that greatness is achievable through hard work and dedication. The Chicago Bulls of the 1990-91 season will forever be remembered as the team that began a new chapter in the story of basketball, a chapter that continues to inspire and captivate fans around the world. In the 1991-92 season, the Chicago Bulls found themselves in a unique position. Fresh off their first championship victory, the team was not simply basking in the glow of their new title. They were preparing to defend their crown. This season would not only solidify the Bulls' status as a dominant force in the National Basketball Association, but it would also mark a pivotal moment in the evolution of Scottie Pippen, who was emerging as a complete star alongside the legendary Michael Jordan. The season began with palpable excitement and anticipation. The Bulls were not just a team, they were now a dynasty in the making. With Michael Jordan at the helm, the Bulls were poised to take on the challenges of the new season with confidence. Jordan, who had already established himself as one of the greatest players in the league, was prepared to lead his team once again. However, this season would see the emergence of Scottie Pippen as a crucial component of the Bulls' success. Pippen was no longer just the sidekick. He was evolving into one of the most versatile and dynamic players in the league. As the season unfolded, the Bulls showcased a blend of talent, strategy, and resilience. The roster was filled with skilled players, including the likes of Tony Kukoc, Bill Cartwright, and Ron Harper. Each player brought unique strengths to the court, but it was the synergy between Jordan and Pippen that truly set the Bulls apart from their competition. Their understanding of each other's game had deepened, allowing for a fluidity that made the Bulls a formidable opponent. Pippen's development was particularly evident in the way he handled the responsibilities of being a primary playmaker. While he had always been known for his defense and athleticism, this season saw him take on a more significant role in orchestrating the Bulls' offense. His ability to read the game, coupled with his exceptional passing skills, allowed him to create opportunities not just for himself, but for his teammates as well. The Bulls' offense became more dynamic, as Pippen often facilitated fast breaks and set up plays that showcased the talents of the entire roster. In the early part of the season, the Bulls faced their share of challenges, including injuries and tough competition. Yet the resilience of the team shone through. The depth of the roster allowed them to weather these difficulties, and with each game the Bulls grew more cohesive. The chemistry between Jordan and Pippen was particularly evident during crucial moments, where their connection would often lead to highlight reel plays that left fans in awe. As the season progressed, the Bulls continued to assert their dominance in the league. They finished the regular season with an impressive record, securing the top seed in the Eastern Conference. The team's success was not merely a product of talent, but also of hard work and determination. Coach Phil Jackson's leadership and innovative strategies played a vital role in harnessing the strengths of his players. The introduction of the triangle offense allowed the Bulls to maximize their offensive potential, creating a free-flowing style of play that was difficult for opponents to defend against. In the postseason, the Bulls faced formidable opponents, each presenting unique challenges. The playoffs began with a first-round matchup against the Miami Heat, a team that had been steadily improving. The Bulls, however, were unfazed. Pippen's defensive prowess became a crucial asset, as he often found himself matched up against the Heat's best players. His ability to guard multiple positions and disrupt the opposing team's offense helped the Bulls sweep the series, advancing them to the next round. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls faced the New York Knicks. This series was characterized by physical play and intense competition, with both teams vying for supremacy. The rivalry between the Bulls and the Knicks was palpable, and every game was a battle. Pippen's versatility was on full display, as he contributed significantly on both ends of the court. His ability to score, defend, and facilitate made him an invaluable asset in this high-stakes series. The Bulls ultimately triumphed, defeating the Knicks in a hard-fought battle that showcased the mental and physical fortitude of the team. Moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, the Bulls were set to face the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers, led by the talented Mark Price and the imposing presence of Brad Doherty, were determined to dethrone the defending champions. The series was tightly contested, with each game featuring dramatic moments and thrilling plays. Pippen continued to shine, consistently stepping up when it mattered most. His ability to create shots for himself and his teammates often turned the tide in favor of the Bulls. As the series progressed, it became clear that the Bulls were not just aiming to defend their title, they were on a mission to solidify their legacy. The culmination of the Eastern Conference Finals came in a decisive Game 7, where emotions ran high. In a game that would be remembered for its intensity, Pippen played a pivotal role, contributing crucial points and assists that propelled the Bulls to victory. The Bulls had successfully navigated the challenges of the Eastern Conference, earning their place in the NBA Finals once again. In the NBA Finals, the Chicago Bulls faced the Portland Trail Blazers, a team that was equally hungry for a championship. The matchup was intriguing, as the Trail Blazers boasted a talented roster, including Clyde Drexler, who was often compared to Michael Jordan. The series was not just a battle of teams, it was a clash of two basketball icons. The stage was set for a showdown that would captivate fans across the country. The finals began with the Bulls taking an early lead, showcasing their offensive firepower and defensive tenacity. Michael Jordan, as expected, was phenomenal, but it was Scottie Pippen who truly emerged as a star during this series. His all-around contributions were evident, as he consistently found ways to impact the game. Whether it was through scoring, rebounding, or playmaking, Pippen's presence was felt on every possession. Game 1 of the finals was a statement game for the Bulls. They dominated the Trail Blazers, with Jordan and Pippen leading the charge. The game featured one of the most iconic moments in basketball history, when Jordan in the second half made 6 consecutive three-point shots, a feat that left fans and commentators alike in awe. However, it was Pippen's all-around game that truly shone, as he contributed significantly in every aspect, solidifying his role as a star in the making. As the series progressed, the Trail Blazers fought back, determined to reclaim momentum. They managed to win Game 2, setting the stage for a competitive series. Yet, the Bulls were relentless. Pippen's ability to adapt and respond to the challenges posed by the Trail Blazers was crucial. He continued to facilitate the offense, while also stepping up defensively against Drexler, showcasing his versatility and commitment to winning. The turning point in the series came in Game 6, where the Bulls found themselves on the brink of capturing their second consecutive championship. The atmosphere in Chicago Stadium was electric, as fans eagerly anticipated the possibility of witnessing history. The game was intense, with both teams exchanging leads throughout. However, it was Pippen's defensive effort and leadership that ultimately made the difference. He played a pivotal role in stifling the Trail Blazers' offense, while also contributing key baskets down the stretch. As the final moments of Game 6 approached, the Bulls held a slim lead. The tension in the arena was palpable, with every possession feeling monumental. Jordan, ever the competitor, took control and delivered clutch performances that would seal the victory for the Bulls. When the final buzzer sounded, the Bulls emerged victorious once again, capturing their second consecutive championship. The celebration that followed was a testament to the hard work and dedication of the entire team, with Scottie Pippen's contributions being a significant part of their success. The 1991-92 season was not just about defending a title, it was about the evolution of a team and the rise of a star. Pippen's development into a complete player was evident, and his partnership with Jordan became a defining aspect of the Bulls' legacy. As the confetti fell and the championship trophy was raised high, it was clear that the Bulls were not just a team, they were a dynasty in the making, with Pippen firmly establishing himself as one of the league's elite players. This season would be remembered as a pivotal moment in basketball history, one that showcased the power of teamwork, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. In the realm of professional basketball, the early 90s marked a period of profound significance, particularly for the Chicago Bulls. The season of 1992-93 was not merely a continuation of their previous successes, but a defining moment that solidified the team's legacy as one of the most dominant forces in the history of the sport. The Bulls, under the astute guidance of head coach Phil Jackson, were not only looking to defend their title from the previous season, but to achieve a milestone that had been elusive to many, a three-peat or 3 consecutive championships. This quest was fraught with challenges that tested the mental and physical fortitude of the players, but ultimately, it would culminate in the completion of this remarkable feat. The season began with a palpable sense of anticipation. The Bulls had just emerged victorious in the 1992 NBA Finals, defeating the Portland Trail Blazers in a series that showcased the brilliance of Michael Jordan, who was named the final's most valuable player. As the team prepared to defend their title, they faced the pressures inherent in being the reigning champions. The spotlight shone brightly upon them, and every opponent they faced seemed to elevate their game, eager to prove themselves against the best. The Bulls were aware that they were the team to beat, and with that recognition came an added weight of expectation. Throughout the regular season, the Bulls demonstrated their prowess, finishing with a record of 57 wins and 25 losses. The chemistry among the players was evident. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and the supporting cast, including the likes of Tony Kukoc and Ron Harper, had developed a rhythm that was both fluid and effective. Each player understood their role, and under the tutelage of Jackson, they embraced the principles of teamwork and selflessness that defined the triangle offenses, a strategy designed to maximize the strengths of each player while creating opportunities for scoring. However, the path to glory was not without its hurdles. The regular season saw its share of injuries and challenges. Scottie Pippen, an invaluable asset to the team's success, dealt with back issues that occasionally hindered his performance. Despite these setbacks, the Bulls managed to maintain their composure and focus, showcasing their resilience and determination. Each game served as a testament to their collective will, a mental toughness that would be crucial as they approached the playoffs. As the postseason began, the Bulls faced the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. The Hawks posed a formidable challenge, with their own star player Dominique Wilkins leading the charge. The series was hard-fought, but the Bulls emerged victorious, winning 3-1. This victory set the tone for what would follow, as they continued to navigate the playoffs with a blend of skill, strategy, and tenacity. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls squared off against the New Jersey Nets. This matchup proved to be less contentious than the previous round, as the Bulls swept the Nets in a decisive 3-game series. The Bulls' dominance was underscored by their ability to control the pace of the game and capitalize on their defensive strengths. Michael Jordan continued to dazzle, showcasing his scoring ability, while also demonstrating an increasing willingness to involve his teammates. The Eastern Conference Finals brought the Bulls face-to-face with the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that had become a familiar adversary in the playoffs. The rivalry was intense, marked by memorable clashes in previous years. The series was a battle of wills, with both teams vying for supremacy. Game 1 was a nail-biter, culminating in a last-second shot by Michael Jordan that would become immortalized in basketball lore, known simply as the shot. This moment, a testament to Jordan's clutch performance, set the tone for the series. The Bulls ultimately triumphed in 6 games, securing their place in the NBA Finals once again. The stage was now set for the Bulls to compete in the NBA Finals against the Phoenix Suns. The Suns, led by the dynamic duo of Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson, presented a formidable challenge. Phoenix had finished the regular season with the best record in the league, and their fast-paced style of play was designed to exploit the weaknesses of opposing defenses. The Bulls, however, were undeterred, having faced numerous challenges throughout the season and the playoffs. The series commenced in Phoenix, where the Bulls faced the Suns in a high-scoring affair. The first game showcased the talents of both teams, with Jordan and Barkley exchanging baskets in a thrilling contest. The Bulls managed to take a narrow victory, setting the tone for the series. Game 2 saw the Suns bounce back, showcasing their offensive prowess and securing a win that evened the series. As the series shifted to Chicago, the Bulls found themselves in familiar territory. The United Center, their home court, was filled with fervent supporters who created an electric atmosphere. The Bulls capitalized on this energy, reclaiming the series lead with a decisive win in Game 3. The fourth game was equally crucial, as the Suns fought to regain momentum. The contest was tightly contested, but the Bulls, led by Jordan's remarkable performances, managed to pull ahead and secure a commanding lead in the series. In Game 5, the tension reached its peak. The Bulls were on the brink of securing their third consecutive championship, but the Suns were determined to extend the series. The game was characterized by dramatic moments and outstanding individual performances. Michael Jordan, as he had done so many times before, rose to the occasion, delivering a performance that was both inspiring and mesmerizing. The Bulls emerged victorious, claiming the title with a final score that reflected their dominance throughout the series. The completion of the Three-Peat was celebrated not just as a triumph for the Chicago Bulls, but as a moment that would resonate throughout the annals of basketball history. Michael Jordan, once again named the Finals' most valuable player, solidified his status as one of the greatest players to ever grace the court. The significance of this achievement extended beyond the realm of sports. It represented a testament to the power of teamwork, resilience, and determination. In the aftermath of their victory, the Bulls were not merely a team that had won 3 consecutive championships. They had etched their name in the history books as a dynasty. The challenges they faced along the way, both on and off the court, only served to enhance the narrative of their journey. The camaraderie and unity displayed by the players became a model for future teams, illustrating the importance of collaboration in achieving greatness. As the echoes of their triumph reverberated, the Bulls began to contemplate the future. The mantle of being the defending champions came with its own set of challenges, and the allure of a 4th consecutive title loomed large. Yet for the moment, the focus remained on celebrating the remarkable achievement of completing a Three-Peat, a feat that would become synonymous with the legacy of the Chicago Bulls and their iconic leader, Michael Jordan. In the realm of basketball, this era would be remembered as a golden age, a time when the Bulls reigned supreme and left an indelible mark on the sport they loved. On October 6, 1993, the world of basketball was shaken to its core with the announcement of Michael Jordan's retirement. This was not just a personal decision for Jordan. It reverberated through the entire National Basketball Association, leaving fans, players, and coaches in a state of disbelief. Having just led the Chicago Bulls to their 3rd consecutive championship, Jordan was at the pinnacle of his career. He had captured the hearts of millions, not only through his remarkable skills on the court but also his charismatic personality. The news of his retirement felt surreal, as if the very foundation of the sport had suddenly shifted. The emotional weight of Jordan's departure was palpable within the Bulls organization. His teammates had come to rely on his leadership and unparalleled talent. Scottie Pippen, who had been Jordan's right-hand man during their championship runs, faced the daunting task of stepping into a role that he had never fully occupied before. Pippen was a talented player in his own right, but the shadow cast by Jordan was immense. The burden of expectations grew heavier with each passing day, as Pippen and the rest of the team grappled with the reality of their star player's absence. The camaraderie that had flourished during their title runs was now tinged with uncertainty, as players pondered how they would adapt without their driving force. In the wake of Jordan's retirement, the Bulls entered the 1993-94 season, with a mixture of hope and trepidation. The front office, led by General Manager Jerry Krause, made some notable changes to the roster. They brought in players like Tony Kukoc and acquired center Luke Longley, hoping to fill the void left by Jordan. The team also emphasized the importance of a collective effort, aiming to foster a sense of unity that could help them navigate the challenges ahead. The coaching staff, led by Phil Jackson, understood that they needed to adapt their strategies to empower the remaining players. Jackson, known for his Zen-like approach, encouraged his team to embrace the moment and find their own identities, rather than simply trying to replicate what Jordan had brought to the game. As the season unfolded, the Bulls faced their fair share of challenges. Pippen's role evolved significantly, as he found himself not only scoring, but also facilitating plays and taking on the responsibility of being the team's emotional leader. His performance was commendable, as he averaged over 21 points per game and showcased his versatility. However, the pressure weighed heavily on him, and there were moments when the burden seemed almost insurmountable. The Bulls struggled to find their rhythm at times, and the absence of Jordan was keenly felt both on and off the court. The team experienced growing pains, and the chemistry that had been so effortless during their championship runs was now a work in progress. Despite the challenges, the Bulls managed to find moments of brilliance throughout the season. Players like Krause and Pippen stepped up, showcasing their skills and resilience. Krause in particular emerged as a key contributor, displaying his ability to shoot from long range and create opportunities for his teammates. The season became a journey of self-discovery for many players, as they learned to play without the constant presence of Jordan. The fans, too, played an essential role in this transition. They rallied behind the team, providing support and encouragement, even in the face of adversity. The loyalty of Bulls fans remained unwavering, as they cherished the memories of Jordan, while hoping for a new chapter in the team's history. As the regular season progressed, the Bulls found themselves in a competitive Eastern Conference. Their record was commendable, but they were not quite the dominant force they had been with Jordan. The playoffs loomed on the horizon, and the team faced the reality that they would need to dig deep to make a significant impact. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, and the players knew that the eyes of the basketball world were upon them. The playoffs would serve as a proving ground for the team, a chance to demonstrate their resilience and adaptability in the face of uncertainty. In the first round of the playoffs, the Bulls faced the New Jersey Nets. The series was a test of wills, and the Bulls showcased their determination to make a statement. Pippen's leadership shone through, as he guided the team to a 3-0 victory, securing their place in the next round. The fans celebrated this achievement, feeling a sense of pride in the team's ability to rise to the occasion, despite the absence of their iconic leader. However, the reality of the playoffs was that every series posed new challenges, and the Bulls would soon face their toughest test yet. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls met the New York Knicks. This rivalry was storied, marked by intense competition and fierce battles. The Knicks, led by the formidable Patrick Ewing, were a physical team that thrived on their defensive tenacity. The series was hard-fought, each game a testament to the grit and determination of both teams. The Bulls fought valiantly, but the Knicks proved to be a formidable opponent. The series extended to a grueling 7 games, with each contest pushing the players to their limits. Ultimately, the Bulls fell short, losing the series 4-3. The disappointment was palpable, as the team realized that they had come close but had not quite reached their goal. As the final buzzer sounded in Game 7, the emotional weight of the season settled heavily upon the players. They had fought valiantly, but the absence of Jordan was a constant reminder of what they had lost. The team gathered in the locker room, the atmosphere thick with a mixture of frustration and pride. Pippen, ever the leader, encouraged his teammates to hold their heads high. They had battled through adversity and had shown tremendous growth, even if the outcome was not what they had hoped for. The journey of the 1993-94 season had been one of self-discovery, resilience, and ultimately, a deeper understanding of the game they loved. As the season came to a close, the impact of Jordan's retirement continued to resonate throughout the league. His absence had left a void that could not be easily filled, but it also opened the door for new narratives and new stars to emerge. The Chicago Bulls would eventually find their way back to greatness, and Jordan would return to the game that had defined his life. However, the season of 1993-94 remains a pivotal moment in basketball history, illustrating the profound emotional complexities that accompany the departure of a legend. It serves as a reminder that while individual brilliance may captivate, it is the collective spirit of a team that ultimately defines success. The echoes of that season still linger, as players, fans, and historians reflect on a time when the game of basketball was forever changed. In the realm of basketball history, the narrative surrounding the Chicago Bulls during the 1994-95 season stands out as a poignant chapter, particularly through the lens of Scottie Pippen's leadership. This period is often remembered as the year without Michael Jordan, a time when the Bulls faced the challenge of navigating the treacherous waters of the National Basketball Association without their iconic star. Michael Jordan, who had retired from basketball to pursue a career in professional baseball, left a significant void in the Bulls' lineup, prompting the team to look to Pippen to fill the gap. Scottie Pippen, a forward known for his versatility, defensive prowess, and playmaking ability, was thrust into the role of the team leader. Throughout his career, Pippen had been recognized as a key component of the Bulls' success, often serving as the perfect complement to Jordan's scoring and charisma. However, with Jordan's absence, Pippen found himself not only shouldering the burden of leading the Bulls, but also redefining his own identity as a player. The transition was not merely about stepping into a larger role. It was also about embracing the responsibility of guiding a team that was still grappling with the loss of its most celebrated player. As the season unfolded, Pippen's leadership began to manifest in various ways. He averaged over 21 points per game, along with 8 rebounds and 7 assists, showcasing his ability to score while also facilitating for his teammates. Pippen's contributions were not limited to the offensive end. His defense remained elite, and he often found himself matched up against the opposing team's best players. His presence on the court inspired confidence among his teammates, many of whom were still developing their skills and understanding of the game. The Bulls, under Pippen's stewardship, finished the regular season with a record of 55 wins and 27 losses. This performance was impressive, especially considering the turbulent circumstances. The team displayed resilience and cohesion, characteristics that were tested throughout the season. Pippen's ability to rally his teammates during challenging moments was a testament to his growth as a leader. He often emphasized the importance of teamwork and communication, instilling a sense of unity that would prove crucial as they entered the playoffs. In the postseason, the Bulls faced off against the New Jersey Nets in the first round. This series marked a pivotal moment in Pippen's journey as a leader. The Bulls won the series in 4 straight games, demonstrating their dominance. Pippen's all-around play was instrumental, as he averaged over 22 points, 9 rebounds and 8 assists per game during the series. His ability to elevate his teammates' performance was evident, as players like Tony Kukoc and Ron Harper stepped up to contribute significantly. The Bulls' success against the Nets set the tone for the remainder of the playoffs, solidifying their status as a formidable contender. Advancing to the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls faced the Orlando Magic, a team that had emerged as a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference, led by the formidable duo of Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway. The Magic were a young and dynamic team, and they presented a unique challenge for Pippen and his Bulls. The series was hard-fought, with both teams displaying their strengths and weaknesses. The Bulls managed to take a 2-1 lead in the series, but the Magic responded with resilience, ultimately pushing the series to a decisive 7th game. In that pivotal game, the stakes were extraordinarily high. The Bulls, buoyed by the energy of their home crowd at the United Center, fought valiantly. Pippen's performance was nothing short of remarkable. He scored 23 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and dished out 6 assists. However, the game turned in the closing moments, as the Magic executed their game plan with precision. A defining moment came when Nick Anderson, a key player for Orlando, made a crucial steal from Pippen, leading to a fast break opportunity that shifted the momentum in favor of the Magic. Despite Pippen's valiant efforts, the Bulls fell short, losing the game and the series. The defeat was a bitter pill to swallow for Pippen and the Bulls. They had come so close to returning to the NBA Finals, a stage that had become synonymous with the franchise during the Jordan era. As the dust settled, Pippen's leadership was recognized, even in defeat. His ability to guide the team through adversity and to inspire his teammates was noted by fans and analysts alike. In the aftermath of the season, the narrative surrounding Pippen began to evolve. No longer just Michael Jordan's sidekick, he had firmly established himself as an elite player in his own right. His performance during the season and the playoffs showcased his ability to lead a team and to perform under pressure. The experience gained during this challenging year would serve as a foundation for Pippen's future endeavors, both as a player and as a leader. As the 1995-96 season approached, the Bulls would soon welcome back Michael Jordan, and the team would embark on a historic journey toward an unprecedented championship run. However, the lessons learned during the previous season remained etched in the minds of Pippen and his teammates. They had faced the trials of leadership, resilience, and teamwork without their star, and these experiences would shape their identity moving forward. In retrospect, the year without Michael Jordan was more than just a challenging season. It was a transformative period for Scottie Pippen and the Chicago Bulls. It highlighted the depth of talent within the team and underscored the importance of leadership in navigating the complexities of professional sports. Pippen emerged not only as a player, but as a leader capable of guiding his team through the storm. Ultimately, this chapter in basketball history serves as a reminder of the power of perseverance and the enduring spirit of a team that refused to be defined by the absence of its greatest player. In the tumultuous landscape of professional basketball, few events resonate as profoundly as the return of Michael Jordan during the 1994-95 season. After a brief retirement, which had shaken the very foundations of the sport, Jordan re-entered the National Basketball Association, reigniting fervent excitement among fans and players alike. His departure from the game in October of 1993, following the tragic murder of his father, had left a gaping void in the league and in the hearts of basketball enthusiasts. The world of basketball had moved on, witnessing the rise of new stars, yet the anticipation of Jordan's return lingered like a sweet melody waiting to be played. On March 18, 1995, Michael Jordan made his much-anticipated comeback, stepping onto the court at the United Center in Chicago. The atmosphere was electric, the air thick with anticipation and nostalgia. Fans, reeling from the absence of their hero, filled the arena to witness the moment that would undoubtedly be etched in the annals of basketball history. Jordan, clad in his iconic red and black jersey, took to the court against the Indiana Pacers, a team that had emerged as a formidable contender during his absence. The moment he took that first shot, the familiar arc of his jump shot echoed through the arena, sending waves of exhilaration through the crowd. It was as if time had stood still, and the basketball world held its breath. In the days that followed, Jordan's return proved to be not just a personal triumph but a catalyst for the Chicago Bulls. The team had struggled in his absence, finding themselves in a transition phase with new players and a different dynamic. Yet, with Jordan's return, the Bulls began to regain their footing. Jordan's impact was immediate. He averaged over 25 points per game during the remainder of the regular season, showcasing not only his scoring prowess, but also his ability to elevate the play of those around him. Teammates who had previously floundered under the weight of expectations found renewed confidence. Scottie Pippen, in particular, began to shine, embracing his role as a leader while complementing Jordan's style of play. As the regular season drew to a close, the Chicago Bulls finished with a record of 47 wins and 35 losses, securing a playoff spot. The excitement surrounding the team reached fever pitch as they prepared to embark on their playoff journey. However, the road ahead was not without its challenges. The Bulls faced the New Jersey Nets in the first round, a team that had shown resilience and determination. The series was a test of the Bulls' mettle, and it served as a reminder that while Jordan's return was a significant boon, the team still had work to do. The Bulls triumphed over the Nets, winning the series 3-2, but it was evident that they were still finding their rhythm. The next challenge awaited in the form of the Orlando Magic, a team that had emerged as a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference. The Magic, led by the formidable Shaquille O'Neal and the sharpshooting Nick Anderson, proved to be a daunting opponent. As the series unfolded, the Bulls found themselves at a disadvantage, struggling to adapt to the Magic's aggressive style of play. Jordan, while still a scoring machine, was not yet the player who had dominated the league before his retirement. The Magic took an early lead in the series, and the Bulls were forced to dig deep to maintain their hopes of advancing. As the series progressed, the Bulls faced an uphill battle, and the tension in the air became palpable. Despite the excitement of his return, Jordan could not single-handedly overcome the challenges presented by a well-coordinated Magic team. The series culminated in a heartbreaking moment during Game 1, when a crucial play by Nick Anderson led to an unexpected turnover, allowing the Magic to seize the momentum. The Bulls ultimately lost the series, falling 4-2, and with it their hopes of reclaiming the championship title. The playoff loss served as a stark reminder that, despite Jordan's undeniable brilliance, the team still had room for growth. The chemistry that had once defined the Bulls during their championship runs was not yet fully restored. As the players exited the court, the weight of disappointment hung heavy in the air. The loss was not merely a setback, it was an opportunity for reflection and learning. The Bulls had tasted the intensity of playoff competition, and they understood that the path to success required not only skill, but also cohesion and resilience. In the aftermath of the season, the narrative surrounding Michael Jordan's return shifted from one of triumph to a more nuanced understanding of the challenges faced by both him and the team. Jordan, ever the competitor, took the loss to heart, using it as fuel for his relentless drive to improve. He recognized the need for not just individual excellence but also a collective effort that would elevate the entire team. The loss to the Magic became a pivotal moment, laying the groundwork for the future success of the Bulls. As the off-season unfolded, the Bulls engaged in introspection, analyzing their performance and considering the adjustments necessary for the upcoming season. Jordan's return had reignited the flame of ambition within the organization, and the commitment to excellence became the rallying cry. The franchise sought to bolster its roster, bringing in new talent and refining its strategies. The coaching staff, led by Phil Jackson, focused on fostering a culture of teamwork and unity, understanding that the road ahead would require more than just individual brilliance. The journey of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls was far from over. The lessons learned during the 1994-95 season would resonate in the years to come, shaping the future of the franchise and leaving an indelible mark on the history of basketball. Jordan's return was not merely a comeback, it was the beginning of a new chapter, one that would see him reclaim his place as one of the greatest players in the sport. The heartbreak of the playoff loss served as a reminder that even the greatest must endure trials, but it also underscored the resilience of the human spirit and the unyielding pursuit of greatness. As the Bulls prepared for the subsequent season, the foundation was laid for what would become a legendary era in basketball. The lessons learned from the challenges faced in 1995 would inform their strategies and strengthen their resolve. The stage was set for an unforgettable journey, one that would ultimately lead to the heights of success and solidify Michael Jordan's legacy as a transcendent figure in the world of sports. The echoes of that season would reverberate through time, reminding all who followed the game that the path to greatness is often paved with both triumphs and tribulations. In the realm of professional basketball, the Chicago Bulls are often heralded as one of the most iconic franchises in the history of the National Basketball Association. Their ascendancy to greatness, particularly in the decade of the 1990s, was marked by a series of strategic moves and pivotal player acquisitions that transformed the team into a formidable dynasty. At the heart of this transformation was Michael Jordan, whose unparalleled talent and competitive spirit set the tone for the franchise. However, As the Bulls navigated the challenges of the league, it became evident that Jordan required a supporting cast that could not only complement his game, but also elevate the team to new heights. The narrative of the Chicago Bulls in this era is often intertwined with the arrival of Dennis Rodman, a player whose skills and personality would become integral to the team's success. Rodman, known for his extraordinary rebounding ability and tenacious defense, was a player who thrived in the shadows, often overshadowed by the more glamorous aspects of the game. His journey to the Bulls began with a successful stint with the Detroit Pistons, where he earned a reputation as one of the league's premier defenders and rebounders. By the time he joined the Bulls in the summer of 1995, Rodman was already a two-time NBA champion and a three-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. However, it was his unique approach to the game and his eccentric personality that would both challenge and invigorate the Bulls. The decision to bring Rodman to Chicago was not without its complexities. The Bulls were emerging from a period of transition, having experienced a tumultuous season in 1994-95. Michael Jordan had returned to the team after a brief retirement, but the squad was still in the process of finding its footing. The addition of Rodman was seen as a gamble, a risk that could either pay off handsomely or disrupt the delicate balance of the team. Nevertheless, the Bulls' management, led by general manager Jerry Krause, believed that Rodman's unparalleled rebounding prowess could address one of the team's most pressing needs. Rodman's impact on the Bulls was immediate and profound. He brought an intensity and ferocity to the court that matched Jordan's own competitive nature. While Jordan was the team's primary scorer, Rodman excelled in his role as a defensive specialist and rebounder. His ability to secure possessions through rebounding allowed the Bulls to maintain offensive efficiency, creating additional opportunities for Jordan and other scorers. Moreover, Rodman's unique understanding of angles and positioning on the court made him a master at anticipating missed shots, often placing himself in the right spot to corral rebounds. This synergy between Jordan and Rodman became the foundation upon which the Bulls would build their dynasty. In addition to Rodman, the Bulls' roster was carefully constructed to support Jordan's game. The front office recognized the importance of surrounding their star player with a blend of talent that could not only contribute on the court, but also mesh well with Jordan's leadership style. Scottie Pippen, already an established star in his own right, was the perfect complement to Jordan. Pippen's versatility allowed him to defend multiple positions and facilitate the offense, serving as a secondary playmaker who could relieve some of the pressure off Jordan. Together, this dynamic duo became one of the most feared partnerships in the league, capable of both scoring and defending at an elite level. As the Bulls entered the 1995-96 season, the team began to coalesce into a well-oiled machine. The addition of Rodman was not just about his individual talents, it was about the collective mindset that he brought to the squad. The Bulls adopted a defensive philosophy that emphasized grit and tenacity, with Rodman serving as the embodiment of that ethos. Under the guidance of head coach Phil Jackson, who implemented the famed triangle offense, the Bulls maximized the strengths of their roster while minimizing the weaknesses. The triangle offense, which emphasized ball movement and spacing, allowed for greater player involvement, making the team less reliant on any single player. Throughout the season, the Bulls demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt and overcome adversity. Their chemistry on the court was palpable, and the players began to embrace their roles with a sense of purpose. Rodman, despite his sometimes controversial off-court antics, became a beloved figure within the locker room. His passion for the game resonated with his teammates, fostering a culture of camaraderie and resilience. The Bulls finished the regular season with a historic record of 72 wins and 10 losses, a feat that would stand as the best in NBA history until the Golden State Warriors surpassed it in the 2015-2016 season. As the playoffs commenced, the Bulls continued to display their dominance, showcasing a well-rounded team that could adapt to any challenge. Each series presented its own set of obstacles, but the Bulls' combination of talent, experience, and mental fortitude proved to be insurmountable. Michael Jordan, in particular, elevated his game during the postseason, reminding the world why he was often referred to as the greatest basketball player of all time. Rodman's contributions were equally significant, as he consistently provided the Bulls with the extra possessions they needed to secure victories. The culmination of their efforts came in the NBA Finals, where the Bulls faced the Seattle Supersonics. The series was a defining moment for the franchise, showcasing the fruits of their labor and the synergy of their roster. The Bulls ultimately triumphed in 6 games, securing their 4th championship in 6 years. The victory not only solidified Jordan's legacy, but also affirmed Rodman's role as a critical component of the team. His rebounding and defensive prowess were instrumental in the Bulls' success, allowing them to dominate the boards and control the tempo of the game. As the years progressed, the Chicago Bulls continued to build upon their success. The addition of Dennis Rodman marked a pivotal moment in the franchise's history, serving as a catalyst for their continued dominance in the league. The synergy between Rodman, Jordan, and Pippen established a blueprint for success that many teams would strive to emulate. The Bulls' ability to adapt and evolve, coupled with their unwavering commitment to teamwork, allowed them to carve out a legacy that would resonate through the annals of basketball history. In the following seasons, the Bulls would face new challenges, including injuries and the inevitable passage of time. Yet the foundation established during the 1995-96 season remained intact, serving as a reminder of what could be achieved when talent, strategy, and chemistry coalesced. As the franchise continued to navigate the complexities of the league, the lessons learned during this transformative period would echo through the years, shaping the future of the Chicago Bulls and the landscape of professional basketball itself. In the 1995-96 season, the Chicago Bulls embarked on a remarkable journey that would etch their name into the annals of basketball history. This season, they achieved an astounding 72 wins and 10 losses, a record that would stand for many years as the pinnacle of regular season excellence. The Bulls were not merely a team, they were a phenomenon, a collective that synthesized talent, strategy, and an unwavering will to win. Central to this narrative was the return of Michael Jordan, who had re-entered the league following a brief retirement that had left fans and players alike yearning for his electrifying presence on the court. Jordan's return to the game was not just a comeback, it was a resurrection. After leading the Bulls to 3 consecutive championships from 1991 to 1993, he had stepped away from basketball, seeking to honor his father's memory and explore other avenues of life. However, by the time the 1995 season rolled around, the allure of the game proved too powerful to resist. In March of that year, he announced his return, famously stating, "I'm back." The basketball world held its breath, eager to witness the return of the player who many considered the greatest of all time. As the 1995-96 season began, the Chicago Bulls were not without their challenges. The roster had seen changes since Jordan's departure, and the team was still finding its rhythm. However, with the addition of key players like Dennis Rodman, whose rebounding prowess and defensive tenacity complemented Jordan's scoring ability, the Bulls began to coalesce into a formidable unit. Under the meticulous guidance of head coach Phil Jackson, who employed his trademark triangle offense, the team cultivated a synergy that would become their hallmark. The early games of the season were a testament to the Bulls' intent. They opened with a string of victories, showcasing a blend of Jordan's scoring, Scottie Pippen's versatility, and Rodman's relentless rebounding. The energy was palpable, and the chemistry on the court was evident. Jordan, who averaged 30 points per game, seemed to have reclaimed his dominance effortlessly. His agility, combined with his unmatched competitive spirit, reinvigorated the franchise and instilled a sense of purpose among his teammates. As the season progressed, the Bulls began to rewrite the record books. They achieved a remarkable start, winning their first 11 games, a streak that set the tone for the season ahead. Each win was not merely a number, it was a statement. The Bulls were on a mission, and every game felt like a step closer to greatness. During this stretch, they showcased their defensive capabilities, often holding opponents to minimal points, a reflection of Rodman's defensive acumen and the team's overall commitment to tenacious play. By mid-season, the Bulls had established themselves not just as contenders, but as the team to beat. The players were not only executing their plays with precision, but were also exhibiting a level of camaraderie that resonated throughout the league. As they approached the All-Star break, they boasted a record that was the envy of every franchise. The Bulls had become a juggernaut, a blend of skill, strategy, and an almost palpable determination to reclaim their championship status. The month of March became a defining period for the Bulls. They continued to pile up wins, breaking various records along the way. One of the most significant milestones was achieving the best record in NBA history, surpassing the previous record held by the Golden State Warriors, who had finished the 1971-72 season with a record of 69 wins and 13 losses. The Bulls not only matched this record, but shattered it, reaching 72 wins. Each game was a showcase of basketball at its finest, with Jordan leading the charge, often delivering clutch performances that left fans in awe. As the season drew to a close, the Bulls entered the playoffs with an air of confidence and expectation. The regular season had been a grueling test, yet the team emerged not only as victors, but as a cohesive unit ready to face the challenges ahead. In the playoffs, they faced formidable opponents, including the Miami Heat, New York Knicks, and the Seattle Supersonics. Each series was a battle, yet the Bulls navigated these challenges with a mixture of skill, poise, and an unyielding determination to win. The NBA Finals pitted the Chicago Bulls against the Seattle Supersonics, a matchup that had fans eagerly anticipating a clash of titans. The series began in Seattle, where the Supersonics took an early lead, showcasing their own talents, including the likes of Gary Payton and Shawn Kemp. However, the Bulls, with their experience and resilience, quickly adapted to the Supersonics' style of play. Jordan, in particular, was relentless, demonstrating why he was heralded as the best. His performances were marked by an uncanny ability to rise to the occasion, scoring points with a mixture of finesse and power. As the series progressed, the Bulls showcased their depth. Each player contributed, whether it was Pippen's all-around play, Rodman's rebounding, or Tony Kukoc's sharp shooting. Coach Phil Jackson's strategic adjustments proved instrumental in countering the Supersonics' tactics, allowing the Bulls to regain control of the series. The culmination of their efforts resulted in a triumphant victory, securing the championship and further solidifying their legacy. The 1995-96 season was not just about the wins, it was about the spirit of the game. It was a time when basketball transcended mere competition and became a celebration of talent, teamwork, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. The Chicago Bulls, led by Michael Jordan, not only captured the hearts of fans, but also left an indelible mark on the sport itself. Their 72 wins became a benchmark, a symbol of what could be achieved through unity, hard work, and an unwavering belief in one another. The echoes of that season resonate still, reminding us of a time when the game was at its zenith, and the Chicago Bulls were its kings. In the 1995-96 season, the Chicago Bulls embarked on a journey that would solidify their place in basketball history. Under the watchful eye of their legendary coach Phil Jackson, and with the indomitable Michael Jordan leading the charge, the Bulls aimed to reclaim their dominance in the National Basketball Association after a brief hiatus following Jordan's first retirement. This season was not merely about winning games, it was about reclaiming a legacy, a pursuit that would culminate in the playoffs of 1996. As the playoffs commenced, The Bulls carried an impressive record of 72 wins and 10 losses, setting a new standard for excellence in the league. Their first-round opponent was the Miami Heat, a team that had shown promise but was ultimately no match for the Bulls' relentless drive. The series unfolded over 3 games, with the Bulls showcasing their depth and defensive prowess. The first game was a statement, with the Bulls winning by a decisive margin. Game 2 saw the Heat attempt to rally, but the Bulls, led by Jordan's scoring and the defensive tenacity of players like Scottie Pippen and Ron Harper, proved too formidable. The final game ended with the Bulls sweeping the series, a clear message to the rest of the league that they were back and focused on their goal. Advancing to the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls faced the New York Knicks, a team with a storied rivalry against Chicago. The Knicks were known for their physical play and gritty defense, characteristics that had troubled the Bulls in previous encounters. However, this season was different. The Bulls, buoyed by their regular season success, took control of the series early on. The first game was a hard-fought battle, but the Bulls emerged victorious. The following games displayed the Bulls' ability to adapt and overcome, employing a blend of offensive creativity and defensive discipline. Jordan's scoring was complemented by Pippen's all-around contributions, and the series concluded with a 4-game sweep, further solidifying their quest for a 4th championship. The Eastern Conference Finals presented a familiar foe in the form of the Orlando Magic, who had previously upset the Bulls in the playoffs the year before. The Bulls entered the series with a sense of determination, eager to avenge that previous defeat. The first game saw the Bulls struggle against the Magic's formidable front court, led by Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway. The Magic took an early lead in the series, causing concern among Bulls fans. However, the heart of a champion was on display as the Bulls regrouped. Game 2 saw a return to form, with Jordan delivering a stellar performance, scoring 38 points and leading the Bulls to a pivotal victory. The series turned dramatically in favor of the Bulls as they won the next 4 games, showcasing a blend of teamwork and individual brilliance. The Bulls had once again claimed their place in the finals, a testament to their resilience and skill. As the stage was set for the NBA Finals, the Chicago Bulls faced the Seattle Supersonics, a team that had earned their spot through a mix of tenacity and talent. The Supersonics, led by the dynamic duo of Gary Payton and Shawn Kemp, presented a unique challenge. The finals opened in Chicago, where the Bulls were greeted by a raucous home crowd. The first game was a showcase of basketball at its finest, with both teams exchanging leads and displaying their strategic prowess. However, the Bulls' experience and composure shone through, allowing them to take the first game in a tightly contested affair. Game 2 saw the Bulls maintain their momentum, with Jordan once again stepping into the spotlight. His ability to perform under pressure was on full display, as he scored a remarkable 43 points, leading the Bulls to a commanding victory. The series then shifted to Seattle, where the Supersonics aimed to turn the tide. Game 3 was pivotal, as the Supersonics finally found their rhythm, fueled by the energy of their home crowd. They played with a sense of urgency and determination, taking the game and narrowing the series gap. However, the Bulls were not to be outdone. Game 4 saw the return of Chicago's dominance, as they executed their game plan with precision, reclaiming control of the series. With the series tied, the tension mounted as the teams prepared for Game 5. The stakes were high, and both teams understood the importance of this game in the context of the series. The Bulls, drawing on their experience and the pressure of the moment, played with a sense of purpose. Jordan's leadership was palpable, and his teammates followed suit. The game unfolded in a back-and-forth manner, but the Bulls ultimately emerged victorious, gaining a crucial advantage in the series. Returning to Chicago for Game 6, the atmosphere was electric. It was Father's Day, a day that would carry significant emotional weight for many, including Jordan himself. His father, James Jordan, had been a source of inspiration throughout his career, and this day felt especially poignant. The Bulls took to the court, fueled by a sense of purpose that transcended the game itself. The first half was a battle, with the Supersonics refusing to back down. However, as the second half unfolded, the Bulls began to pull away. Jordan, channeling his emotions into his performance, delivered a masterclass in basketball, scoring crucial points and facilitating plays that showcased the beauty of the game. As the final moments of the game approached, the realization of victory began to settle in. The Bulls had fought hard and overcome adversity, and now they stood on the brink of history. The clock wound down, and as the final buzzer sounded, the arena erupted in a cacophony of joy and celebration. The Chicago Bulls had claimed their fourth championship, a moment that would etch itself into the annals of basketball history. Jordan's tears reflected the weight of the moment, a culmination of years of hard work, sacrifice, and the enduring legacy of a father's love. This victory was not merely a triumph of skill and strategy. It was a testament to resilience, the power of teamwork, and the emotional connections that bind athletes to their families and fans. The Bulls had faced challenges both on and off the court, and their journey through the playoffs was a reflection of their dedication and commitment to excellence. As they hoisted the championship trophy, the narrative of the season became one of triumph over adversity, a story that would resonate for generations to come, forever marking the 1996 NBA Finals as a significant chapter in the rich tapestry of basketball history. The 1996-97 season was a pivotal chapter in the storied legacy of the Chicago Bulls, a franchise that had already established itself as a dominant force in the National Basketball Association. Coming off a record-breaking season where they won 72 games, the Bulls entered the new season with heightened expectations and an ever-growing target on their backs. The weight of these expectations was compounded by the knowledge that the basketball world was closely observing their every move. The team had become synonymous with excellence, and maintaining that standard would prove to be a formidable challenge. In the midst of this pressure, the Bulls faced a series of injuries that tested their depth and resilience. One of the most significant injuries came to the team's starting point guard, Ron Harper, who suffered a knee injury early in the season. Harper's experience and defensive prowess were crucial to the Bulls' success, especially as they sought to replicate their previous season's dominance. The absence of Harper forced head coach Phil Jackson to adjust his rotation and lean on younger players to fill the void. This situation became a defining moment for the team, showcasing their ability to adapt and overcome adversity. As the season progressed, the Bulls continued to navigate the tumultuous waters of injuries. The most notable of these was the recurring back issue faced by the legendary Michael Jordan, who, despite the pain, still managed to perform at an elite level. Jordan's dedication to his craft and his relentless work ethic were evident as he pushed through discomfort to lead his team. His scoring prowess remained unmatched, and he became the focal point of the Bulls' offensive strategy. Jordan's determination served as an inspiration to his teammates, reminding them of the importance of perseverance in the face of challenges. In addition to the injuries, the Bulls also had to contend with the increased competition from other teams in the league. The landscape of the National Basketball Association was shifting, with several franchises making significant strides in talent acquisition. Teams like the Miami Heat, led by the dynamic duo of Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway, and the Utah Jazz, with their formidable tandem of Karl Malone and John Stockton, posed serious threats to the Bulls' supremacy. As the regular season unfolded, it became clear that the Bulls would need to dig deep and rely on their collective experience to fend off these challenges. Throughout the season, the Bulls displayed remarkable resilience. They finished the regular season with a record of 59 wins and 23 losses, a testament to their ability to weather the storm of injuries and maintain a high level of play. The team's depth was evident, as players like Tony Kukoc and Luke Longley stepped up to fill the gaps left by injured teammates. Kukoc, in particular, emerged as a vital contributor, showcasing his versatile skill set and ability to create mismatches on the court. His contributions became increasingly important as the playoffs approached. When the playoffs arrived, the Bulls found themselves facing familiar foes in the first round, the Washington Bullets. The Bullets were a team with a young, talented roster, including the likes of Chris Webber and Juwan Howard. However, the experience and playoff pedigree of the Bulls proved to be too much for the Bullets to handle. The Bulls swept the series, winning each game decisively and demonstrating their championship pedigree. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls faced the Atlanta Hawks, a team that had posed challenges in previous playoff encounters. The Hawks, led by the explosive scoring of Dikembe Mutombo and the crafty playmaking of Mookie Blaylock, were determined to dethrone the reigning champions. However, the Bulls' experience and tenacity shone through, and they won the series in a hard-fought 6 games. Michael Jordan's leadership during this series was particularly noteworthy, as he averaged over 30 points per game, showcasing his ability to elevate his game when it mattered most. Advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals, the Bulls met the Miami Heat, who had established themselves as a formidable contender in the East. The Heat were a team that had grown in confidence and skill, and they presented a unique challenge for the Bulls. The series was intensely competitive, with both teams showcasing their strengths and strategies. The Bulls were able to rely on their depth and experience, and once again, Michael Jordan emerged as the focal point of their offense. His ability to perform under pressure was on full display, as he delivered clutch performances that ultimately led the Bulls to victory in 5 games. With the Eastern Conference Championship secured, the Bulls found themselves back in the NBA Finals, where they would face the Utah Jazz, a team that had been steadily climbing the ranks of the league. The Jazz, with their 2 superstars, Karl Malone and John Stockton, presented a different set of challenges for the Bulls. The series was marked by a clash of styles, with the Bulls' fast-paced offense contrasting against the Jazz's methodical, team-oriented approach. Game 1 of the finals set the tone for the series, as the Bulls showcased their championship experience and a determination to secure their 5th title. The game was a showcase of skill and strategy, with both teams exchanging leads throughout. Michael Jordan's scoring ability was once again the difference-maker, as he poured in 38 points, leading the Bulls to a hard-fought victory. The win not only boosted the Bulls' confidence, but also sent a clear message to the Jazz about their intentions. As the series progressed, the Bulls continued to demonstrate their resilience. Despite facing challenges from the Jazz, they were able to adjust their game plan and capitalize on their strengths. Phil Jackson's coaching acumen shone through, as he made strategic adjustments that played to the Bulls' advantages. The series was closely contested, with each game filled with dramatic moments and pivotal plays. The Bulls' ability to execute in crunch time became evident, as they consistently found ways to secure victories, often led by the steady hand of Michael Jordan. By the time the series reached its climax, the Bulls were once again on the brink of greatness. Game 5 was a particularly memorable contest, as it featured a thrilling back-and-forth battle that kept fans on the edge of their seats. Michael Jordan, with his characteristic poise and confidence, delivered a performance for the ages, scoring crucial baskets that propelled the Bulls to a commanding lead. His performance in the closing moments of the game solidified his legacy as one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. As the final buzzer sounded, the Bulls emerged victorious, clinching their 5th NBA championship. The triumph was not just a testament to their skill and determination, but also a reflection of their ability to overcome adversity throughout the season. Injuries had tested their resolve, but the Bulls had risen to the occasion, proving once again that they were a team built for greatness. The celebration that followed was a culmination of hard work, perseverance, and a shared commitment to excellence that defined the Chicago Bulls during the 1996-97 season. The echoes of their triumph would resonate through the annals of basketball history, further solidifying their place as one of the most iconic franchises in the sport. In the annals of basketball history, few moments resonate with the same profound impact as the so-called flu game that unfolded during the NBA Finals in 1997. This game, which took place on June 11, has become a symbol of perseverance, grit, and the indomitable spirit of one of the greatest athletes to have ever graced the court, Michael Jordan. To fully appreciate the significance of this iconic moment, it is essential to delve into the context of the series itself, the backdrop against which this legendary performance occurred, and the emotions that enveloped the game. The setting for this riveting encounter was the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, where the Chicago Bulls were facing the Utah Jazz in a best-of-7 series. The Bulls, led by Michael Jordan, had already established themselves as a dynasty, having captured 4 championships in the preceding 6 seasons. The Jazz, on the other hand, were a formidable opponent, boasting a talented roster that included the legendary duo of Karl Malone and John Stockton. The series began with the Bulls taking a commanding lead, winning the first 2 games at home. However, as the series shifted to Utah for Games 3 and 4, the Jazz fought back, winning both contests and leveling the series at 2 games apiece. The pressure was mounting, and the stakes had never been higher. As the teams prepared for Game 5, the atmosphere was charged with excitement and tension. Yet, unbeknownst to many, Michael Jordan was battling more than just the Jazz. In the days leading up to the game, Jordan fell ill, suffering from what was later described as flu-like symptoms. The details surrounding his illness have been the subject of considerable speculation, with various theories suggested, including food poisoning from a pizza he had ordered the night before. Regardless of the cause, it was clear that Jordan was not at his best, and the challenge ahead loomed larger than ever. As the game commenced, the energy in the arena was palpable, with fans eager to witness the unfolding drama. From the very start, it became evident that Michael Jordan was struggling. His movements were labored, and there were moments when he seemed to falter, leaning against the bench for support. Yet despite the overwhelming fatigue and discomfort, Jordan's competitive spirit shone through. Each time he touched the ball, there was an unmistakable determination in his eyes, a fierce resolve to not only play but to excel. The game itself was a back-and-forth affair, with both teams exchanging leads throughout the first half. The Jazz, buoyed by the support of their home crowd, took advantage of Jordan's apparent struggles, attempting to exploit his weakened state. However, as the game progressed, Jordan found a way to rise above the adversity. He began to display flashes of brilliance, showcasing his trademark scoring ability. With each basket he made, the crowd's energy surged, and the tension in the arena grew thicker. As the second half unfolded, Jordan's condition seemed to worsen. He appeared visibly fatigued, often gasping for air, yet he continued to push forward. His teammates, aware of his struggles, rallied around him, offering support and encouragement. Scottie Pippen, in particular, played a crucial role, stepping up to assist Jordan in maintaining the team's momentum. The synergy between the players was palpable, and it became a testament to the strength of their bond and their shared commitment to winning. In the closing moments of the game, with the Bulls trailing, Jordan's resolve reached its zenith. With just under a minute remaining, he hit a three-pointer that sent shockwaves through the arena, igniting the Bulls' hopes for victory. The Jazz, taken aback by Jordan's resilience, found themselves on the defensive as he continued to attack the basket with fervor. As the clock wound down, Jordan delivered a crucial jump shot over Brian Russell, sealing the game for the Bulls with a final score of 93-92. As Michael Jordan collapsed into the arms of his teammates, it was not merely a celebration of victory, but an acknowledgement of the extraordinary effort he had displayed. The moment was immortalized in the minds of fans, a vivid illustration of the power of will and determination. The imagery of Jordan, exhausted yet triumphant, has become emblematic of his legacy, a testament to the lengths he was willing to go to secure victory for his team. Following the flu game, the series shifted back to Chicago for Game 6, where the Bulls sought to clinch their 5th championship. The emotional weight of the previous game lingered, but it also served as a catalyst for the Bulls' performance. Fueled by the memory of Jordan's heroics, the team entered the game with a renewed sense of purpose. Michael Jordan, though still feeling the effects of his earlier illness, was determined to finish what he had started. Game 6 unfolded with a blend of intensity and drama, as both teams fought fiercely for the title. The Jazz, determined not to go down without a fight, played with a sense of urgency, but the Bulls were equally resolute. The game was tightly contested, with lead changes and momentum swings that kept fans on the edge of their seats. Jordan, despite his fatigue, found ways to contribute, scoring crucial baskets and making key plays on defense. As the game approached its climax, the tension reached a fever pitch. The Bulls held a narrow lead, but the Jazz were not ready to concede. With seconds remaining, the Jazz had a chance to tie or win the game. However, the Bulls' defense, anchored by Pippen and Ron Harper, stifled the Jazz's attempts, ultimately leading to a missed shot by John Stockton. The final buzzer sounded, and the Chicago Bulls emerged victorious, clinching their 5th championship in 7 years. In the aftermath of the series, the legacy of the flu game continued to resonate. Michael Jordan's performance was hailed as one of the greatest in NBA history, a defining moment that encapsulated his competitive spirit and ability to rise above adversity. The image of him, visibly exhausted yet triumphant, became a symbol of resilience, inspiring countless fans and athletes alike. The 1997 NBA Finals not only solidified the Chicago Bulls' place in basketball history, but also provided a poignant reminder of the human spirit's capacity to overcome challenges. Michael Jordan's journey through the flu game serves as a testament to the power of determination, illustrating that even in moments of vulnerability, greatness can emerge. As we reflect on this iconic chapter in basketball history, we are reminded of the beauty of sport, where triumphs and struggles intertwine to create unforgettable narratives that continue to inspire generations. In the 1997-98 season, the stage was set for what would become a pivotal chapter in the history of basketball. This was the final season for the Chicago Bulls' legendary trio of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman, a triumvirate that had captivated the world and redefined the game itself. The atmosphere surrounding the team was thick with both anticipation and tension, a palpable sense that the end was near. As the season began, there was a looming uncertainty that hung over the franchise, a feeling that this could be the last opportunity for these players to etch their names into the annals of history one final time. The Bulls had dominated the league throughout the previous decade, securing 6 championships in 8 seasons, a feat that had not only elevated their status, but had also created a culture of excellence and expectation. However, as the new season approached, it became increasingly evident that internal conflicts and external pressures threatened to unravel the very fabric of this storied team. Coach Phil Jackson, known for his unorthodox methods and ability to manage egos, found himself at the center of a tumultuous situation. The front office, led by General Manager Jerry Krause, had made it clear that this would be the last season for Jackson, regardless of the outcome. This decision sent shockwaves through the organization, leaving players grappling with the reality that their beloved coach, who had guided them to glory, would not be returning. Michael Jordan, the centerpiece of the franchise, was acutely aware of the stakes. He had always been driven by a relentless desire to win, but the knowledge that this could be the end of an era only intensified his competitive spirit. Jordan had long been a master at channeling pressure into performance, and as the season unfolded, he embraced the challenge with fervor. His leadership became even more pronounced, as he sought to inspire his teammates while navigating the complexities of their situation. Scottie Pippen, who had endured his share of struggles and injuries, was determined to contribute significantly in this final chapter. His unique combination of skill and versatility made him an invaluable asset on both ends of the floor. Meanwhile, Dennis Rodman, the enigmatic and polarizing figure, brought his own brand of chaos and brilliance to the team. Known for his extraordinary rebounding and defensive prowess, Rodman was also a source of distraction, often making headlines for his unconventional antics off the court. As the season progressed, the Bulls faced a series of challenges that tested their resolve. The chemistry that had once seemed unbreakable was strained by the uncertainty surrounding their future. Players began to feel the weight of the impending conclusion, and the pressure mounted with each passing game. The media scrutiny was relentless, as journalists and fans alike speculated about the fate of the team, the coach, and the players. In the midst of this turmoil, the Bulls managed to find moments of brilliance, showcasing their talent and resilience. They began the season with a strong start, fueled by their collective desire to leave a lasting legacy. Jordan, in particular, was a force to be reckoned with, displaying the same ferocity that had made him a household name. His scoring ability was matched only by his tenacity, as he led the team through both triumphs and tribulations. Despite the internal strife, the Bulls continued to win games, often relying on their deep bench and the experience of their core players. The success was a testament to the strength of their bond, forged through years of competition and shared victories. Yet the specter of impending change loomed large, and the players were acutely aware that this season would not be like any other. Each game became a precious opportunity to savor the journey, knowing that the end was drawing near. The team's camaraderie shone through during these moments, as they rallied around each other in pursuit of one final championship. As the calendar turned to the new year, the Bulls continued to excel, establishing themselves as one of the top teams in the league. They faced fierce competition from other franchises, particularly the Utah Jazz, who had emerged as a formidable contender in the Western Conference. The rivalry between the Bulls and the Jazz had developed over the years, culminating in a fierce battle for supremacy. The two teams met in the NBA Finals during the previous season, with the Bulls emerging victorious, but the stakes felt even higher this time around. The Jazz, led by the dynamic duo of Karl Malone and John Stockton, were eager to dethrone the champions and claim their own piece of history. As the playoffs approached, the tension within the Bulls organization reached a boiling point. The uncertainty surrounding Phil Jackson's future weighed heavily on the players, who were torn between their loyalty to their coach and the reality of the situation. However, Jackson, ever the master of psychology, managed to keep the team focused on their ultimate goal. He instilled a sense of purpose and determination, reminding them of the legacy they could leave behind. His ability to create a harmonious atmosphere amidst the chaos was a testament to his leadership and understanding of the human psyche. With the playoffs on the horizon, the Bulls entered the postseason with a renewed sense of urgency. Each game became a microcosm of their journey, filled with moments of brilliance and occasional setbacks. The first round of the playoffs saw the Bulls face off against the New Jersey Nets, a series that showcased their skill and tenacity. The Bulls dispatched the Nets with relative ease, winning the series 4-0. As they progressed deeper into the playoffs, the challenges grew more formidable. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, they faced the Charlotte Hornets, a team that had proven to be a worthy adversary. The series proved to be more competitive, stretching to a decisive 7th game. In that climactic matchup, Jordan once again demonstrated his ability to rise to the occasion, delivering a stellar performance that propelled the Bulls into the conference finals. The Eastern Conference Finals pitted the Bulls against their arch-rivals, the Indiana Pacers. The rivalry had intensified over the years, marked by fierce battles and memorable moments. The Pacers, led by the talented Reggie Miller, were determined to dethrone the Bulls and make their mark on the league. The series was a grueling affair, filled with dramatic twists and turns. The games were closely contested, with both teams exhibiting their strengths and weaknesses. It was a true test of character, and the Bulls found themselves pushed to their limits. In the decisive Game 7, the Bulls once again relied on their experience and composure. Jordan's leadership was instrumental as he guided his teammates through the pressure, ultimately securing their place in the NBA Finals. As the Bulls prepared to face the Utah Jazz once more, the weight of history bore down upon them. This was not just another championship series. It was a culmination of their journey together, an opportunity to solidify their legacy as one of the greatest teams in the history of the sport. The media frenzy surrounding the matchup was palpable, with analysts dissecting every detail, every storyline. The narrative of Michael Jordan's final season added an extra layer of intrigue, as fans wondered if the legendary player could once again deliver on the biggest stage. The NBA Finals commenced with a sense of anticipation that permeated the air. The Bulls were determined to reclaim their throne, while the Jazz were equally resolute in their quest for glory. The games unfolded with intense drama, showcasing the brilliance of both teams. Jordan, ever the competitor, delivered electrifying performances, reminding the world of his unparalleled talent. The series saw thrilling moments, with the lead changing hands and the outcome uncertain until the final buzzer. Each game became a testament to the heart and determination of both teams, a reflection of the high stakes involved. As the series progressed, it became clear that this was more than just a battle for a championship. It was a farewell to an era. The Bulls fought valiantly, drawing on their collective experience and resolve. The final game of the series was a microcosm of their journey, filled with tension and drama. In the closing moments, with the weight of history on their shoulders, Jordan delivered a game-winning shot that would forever be etched in the memories of basketball fans. It was a fitting conclusion to a legendary career, a moment that encapsulated the essence of his greatness. With the victory, the Chicago Bulls secured their 6th championship, solidifying their place in the pantheon of basketball history. As the confetti rained down and the celebration erupted, there was a bittersweet quality to the triumph. The realization that this was the end of an era hung heavy in the air. The players embraced one another, knowing that they had shared something truly special. The journey they had embarked upon together had come to a close, but the legacy they had built would endure for generations to come. In the aftermath of the championship, the world of basketball would forever remember the 1997-98 season as a poignant farewell to a dynasty. The internal tensions, the struggles, and the triumphs all contributed to a narrative that transcended the sport itself. It was a story of resilience, determination, and the unbreakable bonds forged through shared experiences. As the players moved on to new chapters in their lives, the echoes of their accomplishments would continue to resonate, reminding us all of the magic that can unfold on the court and the indelible mark that greatness leaves behind. In the annals of basketball history, few stories resonate as powerfully as that of the Chicago Bulls during the late 1990s. This era was marked not only by unparalleled success on the court, but also by a complex tapestry of interpersonal dynamics, front office decisions, and media scrutiny that would ultimately shape the legacy of one of the greatest teams in sports history. At the center of this narrative stood Jerry Krause, the Bulls' general manager, whose vision and decisions would ignite both triumph and tension within the franchise. Krause, a man of considerable ambition and intellect, was often viewed as a polarizing figure. His keen eye for talent and ability to assemble a championship-caliber team was undeniable. He played a pivotal role in drafting Michael Jordan in 1984, and later orchestrating the acquisition of key players, such as Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc. However, as the team's success grew, so too did the friction between Krause and the franchise's iconic players. Krause believed that organizations, rather than individual players, were the true architects of success. This philosophy would later serve as a catalyst for conflict, particularly as the Bulls entered the latter stages of their dynasty. As the Bulls captured their sixth championship in 1998, the atmosphere surrounding the team became increasingly strained. The media, once enamored with the Bulls' prowess, began to scrutinize every move made both on and off the court. Speculations about contracts, player relationships, and management decisions filled the airwaves, creating a palpable tension that seeped into the fabric of the franchise. The Bulls were not just facing the pressure of maintaining their dominance, they were also grappling with the implications of an impending end to their historic run. Contract issues loomed large over the organization during this period. Michael Jordan, despite being one of the most successful players in history, found himself in a precarious position in terms of his contract. His one-year deal for the 1997 to 1998 season was a point of contention, as Jordan had consistently expressed his desire to secure a long-term contract. Krause, however, was resolute in his belief that the team needed to maintain financial flexibility to build for the future, a stance that would ultimately alienate some of the franchise's key figures. Jordan's frustrations were compounded by the knowledge that his legacy, as well as that of his teammates, could be compromised by the front office's decisions. The relationship between Krause and head coach Phil Jackson was equally fraught. Jackson, who had guided the Bulls through their championship runs, was aware that the organization was contemplating a rebuilding phase. Krause publicly stated that he would not bring Jackson back for the following season, regardless of the outcome of the 1998 campaign. This declaration sent shockwaves through the organization and fueled speculation about the future of the team. Jackson's coaching style, which emphasized a collaborative and harmonious approach, clashed with Krause's more transactional view of team dynamics. As a result, the tension between the two became a focal point for the media, who relished in dissecting the intricacies of their relationship. The media's role in this narrative cannot be understated. As the Bulls continued to excel on the court, the relentless scrutiny from journalists and analysts intensified. Every game, every press conference, and every practice session was dissected for signs of discord or discontent. The media's fascination with the Bulls' internal struggles often overshadowed their on-court accomplishments. Headlines would frequently feature not just the team's victories, but also the growing rifts within the organization. This constant attention created an environment where players felt the weight of expectations, both from fans and from the relentless gaze of the press. As the season progressed, the players themselves began to feel the strain of the external pressures. The chemistry that had defined the Bulls during their championship runs was now being tested. Scottie Pippen, who had long been Jordan's right-hand man, grappled with his own contract disputes and feelings of underappreciation. He had been instrumental in the Bulls' success, yet his frustrations were amplified by the media's portrayal of the team's internal strife. The tension became palpable, and it was clear that the dynamics within the locker room were shifting. In the midst of this turmoil, the Bulls managed to maintain their competitive edge, largely due to the unparalleled talent and determination of their players. Michael Jordan, in particular, was resolute in his pursuit of a final championship. His leadership and work ethic served as a rallying point for his teammates, even as they navigated the choppy waters of contract negotiations and media scrutiny. The desire to win one last title together united the team, even as the external factors threatened to pull them apart. As the regular season drew to a close, the Bulls entered the playoffs with a sense of urgency. They were fully aware that this was likely their last chance to secure a championship as a cohesive unit. The media coverage during this time was relentless, with every game analyzed for signs of discord or conflict. The narrative surrounding the team often shifted from their performance on the court to their internal dynamics. This scrutiny, while challenging, also served to galvanize the players. They were united by a common goal, and the tension, while palpable, became a source of motivation. The Bulls' playoff journey in 1998 was a testament to their resilience. Each game was marked by moments of brilliance, but also by the weight of the surrounding narrative. The media, hungry for stories, often focused on the interpersonal dramas and contract disputes rather than the sheer talent on display. Yet, through it all, the Bulls demonstrated an unwavering commitment to their shared goal. They faced formidable opponents, but their experience and skill, combined with the urgency of their situation, propelled them forward. As they advanced through the playoffs, the Bulls encountered the formidable New Jersey Nets and the Indiana Pacers. Each series was a battle, not only against their opponents but also against the backdrop of speculation and scrutiny. The media painted the Bulls as a team on the brink of collapse, yet the players remained focused on the task at hand. Michael Jordan's leadership became even more pronounced, as he inspired his teammates to push through the distractions and embrace the challenge of each game. His ability to perform under pressure was legendary, and it shone brightly during this critical stretch. The culmination of the Bulls' journey came in the NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz. The series was a fitting climax to the Bulls' dynasty, filled with dramatic moments and the weight of history. The media coverage intensified, with every game dissected for its implications on the legacy of the franchise. The narrative surrounding the team was no longer just about the players on the court, but also about the front office dynamics and the uncertainty of the future. Yet amid the swirling speculation, the Bulls managed to capture their sixth championship. Michael Jordan's iconic last shot, a moment etched in the annals of sports history, was not just a testament to his skill, but also a poignant symbol of the conclusion of an era. As the confetti fell and the celebration ensued, the reality of the situation began to sink in. The Bulls, having reached the pinnacle of success once more, now faced an uncertain future. Jerry Krause's vision of a rebuilding phase would soon take precedence, as the organization began to shift its focus away from the championship roster that had defined the late 1990s. The players who had fought so hard for that final title were left to ponder their futures, with contract disputes and personal ambitions looming large. In the aftermath of the championship, the media continued to scrutinize the Bulls, dissecting the choices made by Krause and the front office. The narrative shifted once more, focusing on the impending changes within the organization. The Bulls, once the epitome of success, now found themselves at a crossroads, grappling with the consequences of decisions made in the heat of competition and ambition. The drama behind the scenes, intertwined with the quest for greatness, would ultimately shape the legacy of a franchise that had captivated the hearts of millions. The story of the Chicago Bulls in the late 1990s is a rich tapestry woven with threads of triumph, tension, and transformation. It serves as a reminder that even the most successful teams face challenges that extend beyond the court. The interplay of personalities, the pressures of media scrutiny, and the complexities of contract negotiations create a narrative that transcends the game itself. As we reflect on this era, we are reminded that the pursuit of greatness is often accompanied by a myriad of challenges, both seen and unseen. In the 1998 regular season, the Chicago Bulls found themselves in a unique position, one that was steeped in both history and emotion. This season marked not only the conclusion of a remarkable era, but also a final opportunity for the team to solidify their legacy as one of the greatest in the history of basketball. The atmosphere surrounding the Bulls was thick with anticipation and nostalgia, as they prepared to embark on what would become known as their last title run. The narrative of this season was not merely about talent or skill. It was a profound testament to the team's unity and focus amid the pressures that accompanied their storied past. The Chicago Bulls entered the 1998 season with a sense of urgency. The previous year had seen them capture their fifth championship, and the core of the team, including Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman, was acutely aware that this might be their final chance to add to their already impressive championship tally. Coach Phil Jackson, often referred to as the Zen Master, knew that maintaining team harmony would be essential. He had a unique ability to foster a sense of togetherness among his players, and this season would be no exception. Jackson's coaching philosophy emphasized not only the importance of individual talent, but also the need for collective effort, and he encouraged his players to find balance within their roles. As the regular season commenced, the Bulls faced their share of challenges. Injuries and the toll of previous seasons weighed heavily on some players. Scottie Pippen, for instance, had undergone surgery on his right foot during the off-season, and his recovery process was closely monitored. Despite these challenges, the team remained focused and committed to their shared goal. The players understood that their unity would be their greatest asset in the face of adversity. It was this shared understanding that allowed them to push through the ups and downs of the season, often relying on each other for support and motivation. Throughout the season, the Bulls showcased their remarkable resilience. They played with an intensity that reflected their desire to win, and their chemistry on the court was palpable. Michael Jordan, in particular, was a driving force. He continued to display his unparalleled skill and competitive spirit, often leading by example. His commitment to excellence resonated deeply with his teammates, inspiring them to elevate their game. Jordan's ability to perform under pressure became a hallmark of the team, and his leadership was instrumental in keeping the squad focused on their ultimate goal. The Bulls also benefited from the contributions of their supporting cast. Players such as Tony Kukoc and Ron Harper stepped up, providing critical moments of brilliance that complemented the core trio. Each player understood their role within the larger framework of the team, and this selflessness fostered a culture of unity. The Bulls often displayed a remarkable ability to adapt their game plan to suit the strengths of each individual player, which further solidified their bond. As the season progressed, the Bulls faced various challenges, including tough matchups against rival teams. The Eastern Conference was fiercely competitive, with teams like the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks vying for supremacy. However, the Bulls consistently met these challenges head-on, demonstrating their remarkable focus and determination. Their ability to come together in critical moments was a testament to their unity, as they relied on each other to navigate the pressures of high-stakes games. The culmination of the regular season saw the Bulls achieving a remarkable record, finishing with an impressive 63 wins and 19 losses. This level of success was not merely a reflection of their individual talents, but rather a collective effort that underscored the strength of their unity. As they prepared for the playoffs, the sense of camaraderie among the players was palpable. They were no longer just a collection of talented individuals. They had become a cohesive unit, bound together by their shared experiences and aspirations. In the lead-up to the playoffs, the media's focus intensified, with questions surrounding the future of the team's core players. Rumors swirled about potential changes and the uncertainty of what lay ahead, but the Bulls remained steadfast in their commitment to one another. They chose to focus on the present, channeling their energy into the task at hand, rather than getting caught up in speculation. This collective mindset was crucial in maintaining their unity, as they understood that distractions could derail their championship aspirations. As the playoffs approached, the Bulls embraced the challenge of defending their title. They entered the postseason with a renewed sense of purpose, keenly aware that they were not just playing for themselves but for the legacy they would leave behind. The bond they had forged throughout the regular season would serve as a foundation for their playoff run. Each player was committed to the idea that the team's success was paramount, and this shared belief galvanized them as they faced formidable opponents. The first round of the playoffs saw the Bulls matched up against the New Jersey Nets. The series unfolded with the Bulls asserting their dominance, showcasing their ability to execute their game plan with precision. Michael Jordan's leadership shone through, as he orchestrated the offense with his signature flair. The Bulls swept the series, moving forward with confidence and further solidifying their unity. In the second round, they faced the Charlotte Hornets, a team that presented a different set of challenges. However, the Bulls remained undeterred. They relied on their collective experience and the trust they had built throughout the season. Each game was a testament to their resilience, as they fought hard to secure another series victory. The Bulls advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they would meet the Indiana Pacers, a team that had pushed them to the brink in previous playoff encounters. The Eastern Conference Finals proved to be a true test of the Bulls' mettle. The Pacers were a formidable opponent, and the series was tightly contested. Each game was a battle, and the stakes could not have been higher. The Bulls found themselves in a position where their unity was both challenged and strengthened. In Game 4, they faced a critical moment, trailing late in the game. It was during this tense juncture that the Bulls' bond shone brightest. They rallied together, with Michael Jordan leading the charge, and executed a comeback that would be remembered for ages. Their ability to lean on one another in moments of adversity was a defining characteristic of their journey. As the series progressed, the Bulls ultimately emerged victorious, securing their place in the NBA Finals for the 6th time in 8 years. The sense of accomplishment was profound, but they knew that the ultimate test lay ahead. The finals would pit them against the Utah Jazz, a team that had proven to be a worthy adversary. The stage was set for a showdown that would not only determine the champion of the league, but also serve as a fitting conclusion to the Bulls' era of dominance. Throughout the finals, the Bulls continued to embody the spirit of unity that had carried them through the season. Each game was a reflection of their collective effort, and the chemistry they had developed over the years was evident in their play. Michael Jordan, fueled by the desire to secure his 6th championship, delivered performances that were nothing short of legendary. His ability to perform at such a high level, coupled with the contributions of his teammates, showcased the importance of their collective focus. As the series unfolded, the Bulls faced challenges that tested their resolve. The Jazz were a talented team, led by the formidable duo of Karl Malone and John Stockton. Each game was a tightly contested battle, and the tension was palpable. However, the Bulls remained undeterred, drawing strength from their unity. They understood that their bond was their greatest asset, allowing them to navigate the pressures of the finals with poise and determination. The culmination of the series came in Game 6, a moment etched in the annals of basketball history. The Bulls found themselves in a precarious situation, trailing late in the game. It was in this moment that their unity shone brightest. With the clock ticking down, Michael Jordan delivered a clutch performance, hitting a game-winning shot that would forever be remembered. The euphoria that followed was not just a celebration of victory, but a testament to the strength of their collective spirit. As the confetti fell and the cheers echoed throughout the arena, the Bulls stood together, a symbol of unity and resilience. Their journey through the 1998 season had been marked by challenges and triumphs, but it was their bond that had carried them through. They had not only secured their 6th championship, but had also solidified their legacy as one of the greatest teams in the history of sports. The emotional weight of the moment was palpable, as they embraced the reality that they had reached the pinnacle of success, one last time together. In the spring of 1998, the stage was set for one of the most fiercely contested playoff series in the history of the National Basketball Association. The Chicago Bulls, led by the legendary Michael Jordan, were on the verge of completing a remarkable second three-peat, having already won 5 championships in the previous 7 seasons. Their opponents in the Eastern Conference Finals were the Indiana Pacers, a team that had steadily risen to prominence under the guidance of their head coach Larry Bird, and featured a formidable lineup including the likes of Reggie Miller, Rick Smits, and Chris Mullin. This series would not only test the mettle of the Bulls, but also serve as a defining moment in the careers of several players. The Bulls entered the series with a sense of purpose and determination, coming off a dominant victory against the New Jersey Nets in the previous round. Their roster was as star-studded as ever, with Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman complementing Jordan's scoring prowess. The chemistry among the players was palpable, and their experiences in high-pressure situations had prepared them for the challenge that lay ahead. However, the Pacers were no ordinary opponent. They had steadily improved over the years, and their combination of size, skill, and tenacity made them a formidable adversary. The Pacers had a strong regular season, finishing with a record of 52 wins and 29 losses, and they were eager to prove themselves on the grand stage. As the series began, the atmosphere was electric. Game 1 took place at the United Center in Chicago, where the Bulls had cultivated a reputation as an invincible force. The fans filled the arena, their excitement palpable as they cheered for their heroes. The game started with a frantic pace, both teams exchanging baskets and showcasing their offensive firepower. Michael Jordan, as always, was a central figure, weaving through defenders with grace and precision. However, the Pacers quickly proved they were not intimidated. Reggie Miller, known for his clutch shooting, was a constant threat, and the Pacers' defense was relentless, forcing the Bulls into uncomfortable positions. Despite the Bulls' best efforts, the game slipped away from them in the closing moments. The Pacers executed their game plan effectively, utilizing their size advantage in the paint and capitalizing on the Bulls' mistakes. The final score revealed the intensity of the battle, with the Pacers emerging victorious, 100-93. The loss was a wake-up call for the Bulls, reminding them of the challenges they faced ahead. It was a rare experience for a team accustomed to winning, and the pressure began to mount as they prepared for Game 2. In the following contest, the Bulls returned to the court with a renewed sense of urgency. They understood the importance of this game, knowing that falling behind 2-0 would put them in a precarious position. The players rallied around each other, drawing on their collective experience and determination. The game unfolded with an intensity that was palpable, as both teams fought tooth and nail for every point. The Bulls' defense tightened, and they began to exploit the Pacers' weaknesses. Scottie Pippen's versatility shone through, as he contributed on both ends of the floor, facilitating the offense while shutting down his opponents. As the game progressed, Michael Jordan found his rhythm, displaying the skill and poise that had defined his career. He scored at will, using his signature fadeaway jumper to keep the Pacers at bay. The crowd erupted as the Bulls began to take control, and the energy in the United Center surged. The final score reflected the Bulls' resurgence, as they emerged victorious, 105-98. The series was now tied, and the momentum had shifted back in favor of Chicago. The next games shifted to Indiana, where the Pacers were determined to reclaim their home court advantage. Game 3 was played at the Market Square Arena, a venue known for its passionate fans. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, as the Pacers sought to capitalize on their home crowd. The Bulls, having regained their footing, were prepared for the challenge. The game unfolded as a back-and-forth affair, with both teams showcasing their offensive prowess. Reggie Miller, ever the competitor, delivered an outstanding performance, hitting crucial three-pointers that electrified the crowd. The Pacers' big men, including Rick Smits, exploited the Bulls' interior defense, creating challenges for Chicago. As the game wore on, it became evident that the Pacers were not going to back down easily. In a pivotal moment, Miller hit a buzzer beater to end the third quarter, igniting the crowd and shifting the momentum decisively in Indiana's favor. The Bulls fought valiantly, but ultimately fell short, with the Pacers claiming a narrow victory, 87-84. The loss placed the Bulls in a precarious position, down 2-1 in the series. With their backs against the wall, the Bulls returned to Chicago for Game 4, fully aware of the stakes. The atmosphere in the United Center was tense, a reflection of the pressure the team faced. The players understood that losing this game would place them on the brink of elimination. Once again, the game unfolded at a frantic pace, with each possession feeling like a battle for survival. The Bulls, however, were determined to reclaim control of the series. Michael Jordan led the charge, showcasing his unmatched competitiveness, while Scottie Pippen continued to play a pivotal role in the team's efforts. As the game progressed, the Bulls began to assert their dominance. Their defense tightened, making it increasingly difficult for the Pacers to find their rhythm. The crowd, buoyed by the Bulls' resurgence, erupted with each basket, creating an electric atmosphere. The final moments of the game saw the Bulls executing their plays with precision, ultimately emerging victorious with a score of 103-92. The series was now tied once again, and the momentum had shifted back to Chicago as they prepared for Game 5. Game 5 returned to Indiana, and the stakes could not have been higher. The Pacers, buoyed by their home crowd, were determined to seize the opportunity and take the series lead once again. The game began with both teams exchanging blows, each possession a battle of wills. The intensity was palpable, and the tension in the arena was a living entity, wrapping around the players as they fought for every inch on the court. Reggie Miller continued to be a thorn in the Bulls' side, his shooting ability keeping the Pacers in the game. As the game progressed, the Bulls found themselves in a familiar position, trailing in the fourth quarter. However, the experience of the Bulls shone through as they executed their game plan with precision. Michael Jordan, ever the clutch performer, found a way to elevate his game when it mattered most. With the clock winding down, he delivered a series of crucial baskets that turned the tide in favor of Chicago. The final moments were a testament to the Bulls' resilience, and they managed to pull out a thrilling victory, 96-93. With that win, the Bulls took a 3-2 lead in the series, placing them one victory away from advancing to the NBA Finals. The anticipation surrounding Game 6 was palpable as the series returned to Chicago. The United Center was electric, the fans fully aware of the significance of this game. The Bulls, buoyed by their recent success, entered the contest with a sense of confidence. They had faced adversity throughout the series, and now they were on the cusp of greatness once again. The game unfolded in typical playoff fashion, with both teams exchanging baskets and showcasing their defensive prowess. The atmosphere was charged, each possession a battle, as the players fought for supremacy. As the game wore on, it became clear that the Bulls were determined to close out the series. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman played with a sense of urgency, knowing that the stakes had never been higher. The Pacers, though, were not willing to go down without a fight. Reggie Miller continued to showcase his scoring ability, and the game remained tightly contested. However, as the clock wound down, the Bulls began to pull away. In a defining moment, Jordan hit a crucial jump shot that extended the Bulls' lead, and the crowd erupted in jubilation. As the final buzzer sounded, the Bulls emerged victorious, securing their place in the NBA Finals with a score of 98-83. The triumph was not just a testament to their skill, but also to their resilience in the face of adversity. The series against the Pacers had tested their limits, but the Bulls had emerged stronger, ready to chase the ultimate prize once more. The victory marked a significant moment in the legacy of the Bulls, solidifying their status as one of the greatest teams in the history of the sport. As they celebrated on the court, the echoes of their journey through the playoffs would resonate for years to come, a reminder of the relentless spirit that defined the Chicago Bulls in 1998. In the 1998 NBA Finals, a captivating rematch unfolded between the Chicago Bulls and the Utah Jazz, a series steeped in drama and intensity. This confrontation was not merely a battle for the championship, but a poignant moment in the larger narrative of basketball history, as it marked the conclusion of an era defined by the Bulls' remarkable success and the indelible imprint of Michael Jordan on the sport. The stage was set for this anticipated showdown, as the Bulls entered the finals after an impressive regular season, finishing with a record of 62 wins and 20 wins. This season was particularly notable, as it was the last hurrah for the legendary trio of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman, who had become synonymous with winning and excellence in the world of basketball. The Jazz, on the other hand, were no strangers to the championship chase. With their own formidable duo of Karl Malone and John Stockton, they had established themselves as perennial contenders, having reached the finals for the second consecutive year. As the series commenced, the atmosphere was electric, with fans from both cities buzzing with anticipation. Game 1 took place in the United Center in Chicago, a fortress that had witnessed countless triumphs over the years. The Bulls, buoyed by the energy of their home crowd, began the game with a fierce intensity. Michael Jordan, ever the maestro of the court, orchestrated the offense with his signature style, weaving through defenders with grace and precision. His ability to create shots, both for himself and his teammates, set the tone for the Bulls, who sprinted out to an early lead. Yet the Jazz were not to be underestimated. Karl Malone, known as the Mailman, delivered a powerful performance, showcasing his remarkable scoring ability and physical presence in the paint. Alongside him, John Stockton, the cerebral point guard, exhibited his unparalleled court vision, facilitating the Jazz's offense with pinpoint passes and clever plays. The game ebbed and flowed, with both teams exchanging leads, embodying the grit and determination that defined this finals matchup. As the first game unfolded, it became evident that this series would not be a simple affair. The Jazz employed a physical style of play, challenging the Bulls at every turn. The referees allowed a level of contact that heightened the tension on the court, as both teams battled for supremacy. The Bulls emerged victorious in this opening contest, but not without a fight. The final score reflected the hard-fought nature of the game, with the Bulls winning by a narrow margin, setting the stage for the drama to unfold in the subsequent games. Game 2 followed closely, and the stakes were higher than ever. The Bulls, eager to capitalize on their home court advantage, sought to establish dominance early in the series. However, the Jazz, fueled by the memory of their previous finals defeat, displayed an unwavering resolve. They executed their game plan with precision, utilizing pick-and-roll plays that exploited any defensive lapses from the Bulls. Malone and Stockton continued to shine, with Malone finding his rhythm and Stockton deftly orchestrating the offense. In a stunning display of resilience, the Jazz managed to secure a victory in Game 2, evening the series at 1 game apiece. This triumph was significant, not only for the momentum it provided, but also for the psychological boost it offered the team. The Jazz had proven that they could compete with the Bulls on the grandest stage, and the confidence gained from this victory would carry forward into the next games. As the series shifted to Salt Lake City for Games 3 and 4, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The Jazz fans, known for their fervent support, filled the Delta Center, creating a formidable home court advantage. The Bulls, aware of the challenges that lay ahead, approached these games with a mixture of determination and caution. In Game 3, the Bulls faced a Jazz team eager to capitalize on their newfound confidence. The game unfolded with a sense of urgency, as both teams battled fiercely for control. Jordan, ever the competitor, rose to the occasion, delivering a performance that showcased his scoring prowess. Yet the Jazz countered with a balanced attack, relying on the contributions of their role players to complement the efforts of their stars. The game was a tightly contested affair, with each possession carrying immense weight. Ultimately, the Bulls emerged victorious once again, taking a crucial 2-1 lead in the series. Game 4 was a pivotal moment for the Jazz, as they sought to regain their footing and even the series. The tension in the arena was palpable, with fans on the edge of their seats, fully aware of the stakes involved. The Jazz came out with an intensity that matched the fervor of their supporters. Malone and Stockton continued to lead the charge, showcasing their ability to perform under pressure. The game swung back and forth, with neither team able to establish a definitive advantage. In a thrilling conclusion, the Jazz managed to secure a hard-fought victory, tying the series at 2 games apiece. This game was a testament to the heart and determination of both teams, as they battled for every point and every rebound. With the series now level, the stage was set for a dramatic showdown in Chicago for Game 5. As the Bulls returned to the United Center, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Fans filled the arena, eager to witness the continuation of this epic saga. The stakes were higher than ever, with both teams aware that this game could prove to be a turning point in the series. The Bulls, driven by their championship pedigree, sought to regain control, while the Jazz aimed to seize the moment and capitalize on their momentum. Game 5 unfolded with a sense of urgency, as both teams fought for supremacy. The Bulls, led by Jordan, came out firing on all cylinders. Jordan's scoring ability was on full display, as he effortlessly maneuvered through the Jazz defense, scoring with remarkable ease. Yet the Jazz, undeterred by the Bulls' early onslaught, responded with their own offensive firepower. Malone continued to assert himself, while Stockton facilitated the offense with his deft passing and leadership. As the game progressed, it became clear that this contest would be a classic. The lead changed hands multiple times, with both teams displaying their resilience and determination. The tension in the arena was palpable, as fans held their breath with every possession. In the closing moments of the game, with the score hanging in the balance, the Bulls managed to pull ahead, thanks in large part to Jordan's clutch performances down the stretch. With the final buzzer signaling the end of Game 5, the Bulls emerged victorious, taking a 3-2 lead in the series. The sense of relief and jubilation among the players and fans was palpable, as they celebrated this crucial win. However, the Jazz were far from defeated. They knew they had one last opportunity to reclaim the series in Game 6. As the series moved back to Salt Lake City for Game 6, the atmosphere was electric. The Jazz fans, unwavering in their support, filled the arena with a palpable sense of hope and determination. The stakes could not have been higher, as both teams understood the significance of this game. For the Bulls, a victory would secure their 6th championship in 8 years, while for the Jazz, it represented a chance to rewrite their history and claim their first title. Game 6 began with both teams exhibiting an intensity that reflected the weight of the moment. The Jazz, buoyed by the support of their fans, came out with a sense of purpose. Malone and Stockton set the tone, with Malone scoring early and often. The Bulls, however, were not to be outdone. Jordan, with his unparalleled competitive spirit, rose to the occasion, delivering a performance that would become etched in the annals of basketball history. As the game progressed, the tension mounted. The lead fluctuated, with both teams exchanging baskets in a thrilling display of skill and determination. The final moments of the game were nothing short of dramatic, as the Bulls found themselves in a tight contest. With time winding down, Jordan delivered a moment that would be forever remembered, a jump shot over Brian Russell that secured the championship for the Bulls. The arena erupted in a mix of celebration and disbelief as the Bulls claimed their sixth title. For Michael Jordan, this victory was the culmination of a storied career, a fitting conclusion to an era defined by excellence. The Jazz, while defeated, had showcased their resilience and talent, leaving a lasting impression on the hearts of their fans. The 1998 Finals not only marked the end of the Bulls' dynasty, but also captured the essence of competition in sports. The battles fought on the court, the emotional highs and lows, and the unwavering spirit of the players created a narrative that transcended mere statistics. As the echoes of that iconic series continue to resonate, it serves as a reminder of the beauty and complexity of basketball, a sport that brings people together and ignites passions. In the realm of sports, few moments are etched into the collective memory with the same fervor and clarity as Michael Jordan's final game with the Chicago Bulls. The date was June 14, 1998, and the stage was set for a historic conclusion to an era that had captivated the world. The Chicago Bulls faced the Utah Jazz in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, a series that had already seen the Bulls claim 3 consecutive championships from 1996 to 1998, securing their place as one of the most dominant teams in basketball history. As the game unfolded, it became apparent that this was not just another contest, it was the culmination of a legacy, a final chapter in the saga of one of the greatest athletes to ever grace the hardwood. Jordan, having already established himself as a basketball deity, was well aware of the stakes. The atmosphere in the Delta Center in Salt Lake City was electric, filled with a mix of anticipation and anxiety. Fans had gathered, not just to witness a game, but to be part of history. The Utah Jazz, led by the formidable duo of Karl Malone and John Stockton, were hungry for their first championship, and they had fought valiantly to push the series to this pivotal moment. The tension was palpable as the players took to the court, each dribble and pass resonating with the weight of what was at stake. As the game progressed, the Bulls found themselves in a familiar position, battling back and forth with the Jazz. The first half saw both teams exchanging leads, with Jordan showcasing his signature skill set. His jump shots were precise, his drives to the basket were relentless, and his defensive prowess remained unmatched. However, it was apparent that the years of wear and tear were beginning to take their toll. Jordan, now 35 years old and playing in his 16th season, exhibited moments of fatigue, yet he remained undeterred, pushing through the physical limitations that had begun to creep in. The second half brought a renewed intensity. With each passing quarter, the stakes grew higher. The Bulls had a slight lead heading into the fourth quarter, yet the Jazz, bolstered by the unwavering support of their home crowd, were relentless in their pursuit. The game was a back-and-forth affair, with momentum swinging like a pendulum. Every basket was met with roars from the crowd, every defensive stop with cheers of encouragement. With just minutes remaining, the tension reached a fever pitch. The Bulls were clinging to a narrow lead, but the Jazz were not about to back down. With under a minute left in the game, the score was tied, and the weight of the moment was almost suffocating. The clock ticked down, each second echoing in the hearts of fans and players alike. It was in these final moments that Michael Jordan, the perennial clutch performer, took control. He demanded the ball, a familiar sight for those who had witnessed his countless game-winning moments in the past. As he dribbled the ball at the top of the key, one could feel the collective breath of the audience being held in anticipation. Jordan, with his signature gaze, assessed the situation. He was not just playing against the Jazz, he was battling time itself, seeking to etch his name into the annals of basketball history one last time. As the clock wound down, Jordan made his move. He drove towards the basket, drawing the attention of the Jazz defenders. In that split second, he knew he had to create space. With a deftness that belied his age, he pulled up for a jump shot, a move that had become his trademark. The ball arced beautifully through the air, time seeming to slow as it sailed towards the hoop. The arena held its breath. Fans on both sides were encapsulated by the moment, caught in the spell of what was unfolding before them. The ball struck the backboard before kissing the rim and falling through the net, a perfect swish that sent the Bulls ahead by 2 points. The crowd erupted, a cacophony of cheers and disbelief. Michael Jordan had done it again, delivering a moment that would be replayed and revered for generations. With just a few seconds remaining, the Jazz attempted to respond, but the Bulls' defense held firm. As the final buzzer sounded, the reality of what had just transpired began to sink in. The Chicago Bulls had secured their 6th championship, and Michael Jordan had completed his final act in a Bulls jersey with the flourish of a true master. As he stood on the court, surrounded by teammates and the adulation of fans, Jordan took a moment to soak it all in. This was not just a victory, it was a farewell. The tears that welled in his eyes spoke volumes, a mixture of joy, relief, and nostalgia. He had fought through adversity, faced the challenges of age, and still emerged victorious. As he embraced his teammates, the significance of the moment was palpable. It was an end, but it was also a beginning, a transition from the spotlight of competition to the legacy he would leave behind. In the aftermath of that fateful night, discussions about Jordan's impact on the game, his influence on future generations of players, and his transcendent presence in the world of sports became a focal point for historians and fans alike. His ability to elevate the game of basketball, to inspire millions, and to create a global phenomenon was unparalleled. The legacy he crafted in Chicago with the Bulls would forever be remembered as a golden era of basketball, defined by excellence, determination, and an unyielding pursuit of greatness. As the years have passed, Jordan's last shot in a Bulls jersey has become more than just a moment in time. It has become a symbol of triumph, resilience, and the magic of sports. It stands as a reminder of the power of the human spirit, the drive to win, and the impact one individual can have on the world. The image of that jump shot, with the arena in a frenzy, continues to resonate, a testament to a career that was not just about the accolades, but about the joy of the game itself. Michael Jordan's final shot is forever etched in the hearts of basketball fans, a beautiful conclusion to a remarkable journey. In the realm of professional basketball, few narratives resonate as deeply as that of a dynasty's rise and eventual decline. The story of the Chicago Bulls during the 90s is one that evokes a myriad of emotions, with the triumphs and challenges faced by the team serving as a testament to the fleeting nature of success in sports. As the curtain began to fall on this storied era, the dismantling of the roster and the departure of key players marked a poignant transition that would echo through the annals of basketball history. As the calendar turned to the 1997-98 season, the Chicago Bulls were basking in the afterglow of their previous championship triumphs. Under the steady guidance of their revered coach Phil Jackson, the team had secured an impressive total of 5 championships over the preceding 7 seasons. The core group, led by the indomitable Michael Jordan, the versatile Scottie Pippen, and the formidable Dennis Rodman, had solidified their place in sports history. However, beneath the surface of this apparent stability lay the seeds of change, as the organization faced the inevitable challenge of sustaining success. The tension began to mount as whispers of discontent emerged from the front office. Jerry Krause, the team's general manager, was known for his unwavering belief in the need for continual evolution within the roster. He famously stated, "Organizations win championships," a phrase that would soon take on a profound significance. Krause's vision for the future clashed with the desires of the players who had forged a bond through shared victories and hardships. In the minds of the team's stars, the chemistry that had propelled them to greatness was irreplaceable, yet Krause was determined to chart a new course. As the season progressed, the atmosphere surrounding the Bulls grew increasingly charged with uncertainty. The team's veteran players were well aware that this could be their final opportunity to capture another championship together. Michael Jordan, in particular, had made it clear that he would only return for one last season if Phil Jackson was at the helm. This stipulation created a delicate dance, as the front office grappled with the implications of their decisions. Would they prioritize the desires of their star players, or adhere to the long-term vision that Krause had crafted? The tension reached a crescendo as the season unfolded. While the Bulls remained a formidable force on the court, the strain of impending change loomed large. The public narrative was often fixated on the impending free agency of key players, including Scottie Pippen. Pippen, having been a crucial part of the team's success, found himself at the center of discussions regarding his future. His contract situation was a source of frustration, as he had signed a long-term deal in the early 90s that was now viewed as undervalued in light of his contributions. The perception of being underappreciated weighed heavily on him, and the uncertainty of the future led to murmurs of discontent. As the playoffs approached, the Bulls demonstrated their resilience, navigating through the challenges that had arisen. The team ultimately secured their place in the postseason, showcasing the talents of their aging yet still potent roster. With each victory, the hope of capturing a sixth championship grew stronger, yet the shadow of impending change hung overhead. The players were aware that this season represented a bittersweet culmination of their shared journey, and they played with both determination and a sense of melancholy. The playoffs were a testament to the Bulls' tenacity, as they fought their way through the competition, facing formidable opponents. The journey was not without its trials. Injuries and fatigue began to take their toll on key players. Yet, with each passing game, the desire to etch their legacy further into history propelled the Bulls forward. The culmination of this effort came in the NBA Finals, where they faced the Utah Jazz, a team that had proven to be a worthy adversary. The series was a tightly contested battle, marked by intense moments and thrilling performances. Michael Jordan, in his characteristic fashion, rose to the occasion, delivering iconic performances that would be remembered for generations. The final game of the series, played on June 14, 1998, would become a defining moment in NBA lore. With the clock winding down, Jordan hit a jump shot over Brian Russell, sealing the victory and securing the championship for the Bulls. This triumph, however, would serve as both a pinnacle and a prelude to the end of an era. In the aftermath of this final victory, the emotional weight of the moment began to settle in. The confetti rained down, and the cheers of jubilant fans filled the United Center, yet a palpable sense of finality lingered. As the team celebrated their sixth championship, the reality of change became increasingly evident. Phil Jackson's future was uncertain, and the front office's intentions loomed large. The conversations surrounding the dismantling of the roster began to take shape, with key players contemplating their next moves. As the summer of 1998 unfolded, the inevitability of change became clearer. Phil Jackson, having led the Bulls to unparalleled success, announced that he would step away from coaching, a decision that sent shockwaves through the organization. His departure marked the end of a coaching era, characterized by unparalleled achievement and philosophical depth. The players who had thrived under Jackson's guidance now faced an uncertain future without his steady hand. Simultaneously, Scottie Pippen's future became a focal point of discussion. With his contract nearing its conclusion, Pippen found himself in a precarious position. Rumors circulated about potential trades and free agency, and the uncertainty weighed heavily on him. Pippen had been a cornerstone of the Bulls' success, yet the landscape of the franchise was shifting. He ultimately found a new home with the Houston Rockets, a decision that echoed the sentiment of a team in transition. Dennis Rodman, the enigmatic force who had added a unique flair to the Bulls' identity, also faced his own crossroads. His unconventional personality had often drawn scrutiny, yet his contributions on the court were undeniable. As the roster began to change, Rodman's future became uncertain as well. He would later sign with the Los Angeles Lakers, further fragmenting the once unified core of the Bulls. As the summer days passed, the roster continued to evolve. The departures of Pippen and Rodman marked a seismic shift in the team's identity, as the very fabric of what had made the Bulls a dynasty began to unravel. The front office, under Jerry Krause's direction, sought to rebuild, envisioning a new chapter for the franchise. The decisions made during this time would shape the trajectory of the Bulls for years to come, leaving fans to grapple with the reality of a team that had once dominated the league. In the ensuing seasons, the Chicago Bulls would experience a transformation marked by both promise and struggle. The foundation that had been laid during the 90s was now a distant memory, as the team sought to redefine itself in a post-Jordan era. The echoes of the past lingered, as fans reminisced about the glory days while grappling with the uncertainties of the future. As the Bulls navigated through this period of reconstruction, the legacy of the 90s remained a touchstone for both players and fans alike. The stories of triumph, the iconic moments, and the bonds forged during those championship runs continued to resonate. Yet the reality of professional sports is that change is inevitable, and the tapestry of basketball history is woven with both the threads of success and the complexities of transition. In the years that followed, the Chicago Bulls would encounter challenges as they sought to reclaim their place among the league's elite. The lessons learned during the dismantling of the roster served as a reminder of the delicate balance between ambition and legacy. The team's evolution would be marked by both triumphs and tribulations, a reflection of the cyclical nature of sports. As we reflect upon the narrative of the Chicago Bulls and the aftermath of their illustrious dynasty, we are reminded that every great story is woven with threads of change. The departure of key players may have signaled the end of an era, but the impact of their contributions continues to resonate, leaving an indelible mark on the history of basketball. In the quiet moments of reflection, we find solace in the knowledge that while dynasties may rise and fall, the love for the game endures, and the stories of those who played it will forever be cherished. The Chicago Bulls, a team that transcended the boundaries of sport, emerged as a global phenomenon during the 1990s, forever altering the landscape of the National Basketball Association and the sport of basketball itself. At the heart of this transformation was a constellation of talent, led by the indomitable Michael Jordan, whose prowess on the court captivated audiences around the world. The Bulls' dominance, characterized by 6 championships in 8 years, not only showcased their athletic superiority, but also served as a catalyst for the global expansion of basketball, influencing media, marketing, and the sport's overall popularity. In the early part of the decade, the Bulls began to solidify their place in history, culminating in their first championship in 1991. This victory marked the beginning of a dynasty that would see the team capture titles in 1992, 1996, 1997, and 1998. Each championship was not merely a testament to their skill, but a stepping stone for the growth of basketball's appeal beyond the borders of the United States. As the Bulls became synonymous with winning, their image was meticulously crafted through a combination of strategic marketing and a burgeoning media presence. The NBA, recognizing the potential for global outreach, began to embrace international markets, with the Bulls at the forefront of this initiative. The impact of the Bulls on the global stage can be traced back to the way they were marketed. Their games were broadcast to millions of viewers, with Michael Jordan emerging as the face of the franchise and the league. His charisma and talent made him an icon, not just in America, but across continents. The NBA's partnership with various media outlets facilitated the dissemination of Bulls games, making it possible for fans from countries such as Spain, China, and the Philippines to experience the thrill of basketball. The Bulls games became events, drawing in viewers who were not just interested in basketball, but were captivated by the spectacle of athleticism and competition. This exposure played a crucial role in fostering a global fan base, transforming basketball into a sport that could be appreciated far beyond its American roots. Moreover, the Bulls revolutionized the way basketball was marketed. The team's merchandise, particularly the iconic red and black jerseys, became a cultural phenomenon. Young fans around the globe began to wear Bulls gear, not just as a display of allegiance to a team but as a statement of identity and style. The marketing strategies employed by the Bulls were innovative, leveraging the power of endorsements and collaborations with major brands. Michael Jordan's partnership with Nike led to the creation of the Air Jordan line, which transcended sports and entered the realm of fashion. This synergy between sports and lifestyle became a template for future athletes and teams, illustrating how basketball could be intertwined with broader cultural trends. As the Bulls captured the imagination of fans worldwide, their influence extended into various facets of society. The global appeal of the team was evident during the 1992 Summer Olympics, where the United States assembled a dream team featuring many Bulls players, including Michael Jordan. This team not only dominated the competition, but also showcased the beauty of basketball on an international stage. The success of the Dream Team further solidified the Bulls' legacy and their role in popularizing basketball globally. Countries that had previously been indifferent to the sport began to embrace it, investing in facilities, training, and youth programs. The success of the Bulls inspired a generation of players around the world, many of whom aspired to emulate their heroes. In addition to expanding the fan base, the Bulls also played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative of basketball in media. The rise of sports documentaries, notably The Last Dance, which chronicles the Bulls' journey during the 1997-98 season, has provided a deeper understanding of the team's dynamics and the challenges they faced. This documentary not only rekindled interest in the Bulls' legacy, but also served to educate new generations about the significance of that era in basketball history. The storytelling aspect of sports media has become increasingly important, allowing fans to connect emotionally with teams and players, and the Bulls were instrumental in this evolution. The cultural impact of the Bulls is perhaps best exemplified in the way they influenced youth culture. The team's success and the charisma of its players inspired countless young athletes to take up basketball. Schools and community centers around the world began to invest in basketball programs, fostering a new generation of players who would carry the sport into the future. The Bulls' legacy can be seen in the countless international stars who have emerged since, many of whom cite Michael Jordan as their inspiration. The globalization of basketball has led to a more diverse league, with players from various backgrounds contributing to the rich tapestry of the game. In examining the global impact of the Chicago Bulls, it is essential to acknowledge the role of technology in this transformation. The advent of satellite television and the Internet allowed for unprecedented access to NBA games and content. Fans could now watch Bulls games live, regardless of their geographical location, and engage with the team through various digital platforms. Social media further amplified this connection, enabling fans to interact with players and share their passion for the sport. The Bulls capitalized on these technological advancements, creating a strong online presence that resonated with fans worldwide. This integration of technology and sports has fundamentally changed how basketball is consumed and appreciated, with the Bulls leading the charge. As the Chicago Bulls solidified their legacy in the annals of basketball history, they also laid the groundwork for future teams and leagues to follow. The blueprint for marketing, media engagement, and cultural integration established by the Bulls has influenced countless franchises in the years since. Teams now recognize the importance of building a brand that resonates with fans both locally and globally, understanding that the reach of basketball extends far beyond the court. The Bulls demonstrated that success on the court could translate into success off it, creating a symbiotic relationship between athletic achievement and commercial viability. In conclusion, the Chicago Bulls' legacy is one of profound significance, not only for their accomplishments on the court, but also for their transformative impact on the global landscape of basketball. Their influence on media, marketing, and the popularity of the sport has reverberated through the years, shaping the way basketball is perceived and enjoyed around the world. As we reflect on the rich history of the Bulls, we recognize that their legacy is not merely a collection of trophies and accolades, but a testament to the power of sport to unite and inspire. The story of the Bulls is a reminder of how a team can transcend its origins, becoming a symbol of hope, determination, and cultural significance in the hearts of fans across the globe. Michael Jordan, a name that resonates with fans, players, and sports enthusiasts alike, transcends the boundaries of basketball to embody a cultural phenomenon that extends far beyond the hardwood floor. Born on February 17, 1963, in Brooklyn, New York, Jordan's journey from a young boy with dreams to a global icon is a testament to his unparalleled talent, relentless work ethic, and the impact he would ultimately have on the game of basketball and the world at large. Jordan's formative years were spent in Wilmington, North Carolina, where he developed a passion for basketball at a young age, often playing with his siblings and honing his skills on the local courts. It was during his high school years at Emsley A. Laney High School that Jordan began to attract attention, showcasing his remarkable athleticism and competitive spirit. However, despite his evident talent, he faced setbacks, including being cut from the varsity basketball team as a sophomore. This rejection only fueled his determination, leading him to work tirelessly on his game, and by his senior year, he had blossomed into a standout player, earning a scholarship to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. In 1981, Jordan joined the Tar Heels, where he quickly made a name for himself under the tutelage of legendary coach Dean Smith. His freshman season culminated in a defining moment when he hit the game-winning shot in the championship game against the University of Houston in 1982. This moment not only solidified his place in college basketball history, but also foreshadowed the clutch performances that would become a hallmark of his professional career. After 3 successful years in college, during which he earned numerous accolades, including the National College Player of the Year, Jordan declared for the National Basketball Association draft. In 1984, Michael Jordan was selected as the 3rd overall pick by the Chicago Bulls. His arrival in the league heralded a new era of basketball, characterized by a combination of athleticism, finesse, and competitiveness that had rarely been seen before. Jordan's rookie season was electrifying. He averaged 27 points per game and quickly became a fan favorite, captivating audiences with his high-flying dunks and scoring prowess. His impact was immediate, and he was awarded the NBA Rookie of the Year award, setting the stage for what would become one of the most illustrious careers in sports history. As Jordan honed his skills, the Bulls began to rise in the ranks of the NBA, but it was not without struggle. The team faced fierce competition in the Eastern Conference, particularly from the Detroit Pistons, who were known for their physical style of play and were dubbed the Bad Boys. The rivalry between the Bulls and Pistons reached its zenith in the late 1980s, as Jordan and his teammates were consistently thwarted in their quest for the championship. It was during this period that Jordan began to evolve, not only as a player, but also as a leader, learning the importance of teamwork and resilience. The turning point for both Jordan and the Bulls came in the early 1990s. With the addition of key players such as Scottie Pippen and the guidance of coach Phil Jackson, the Bulls transformed into a formidable force. In 1991, they finally broke through, defeating the Los Angeles Lakers in the NBA Finals to claim their first championship. This victory was monumental, not just for the franchise but for Jordan personally, as it validated his tireless pursuit of greatness. The subsequent years saw the Bulls dominate the league, winning 3 consecutive championships from 1991 to 1993, and again from 1996 to 1998. Jordan's influence extended well beyond the basketball court during this time. He became a cultural icon, with his Air Jordan brand revolutionizing the sneaker industry. The partnership with Nike, which began in 1984, evolved into a marketing phenomenon that forever changed how athletes engaged with brands. The Air Jordan sneakers became a symbol of status and style, transcending the realm of sports and entering the broader cultural consciousness. The iconic Jumpman logo, featuring Jordan's silhouette, became synonymous with excellence and aspiration, inspiring generations of athletes and fans alike. Moreover, Jordan's persona as a fierce competitor resonated deeply with people around the world. His relentless drive to win, coupled with his ability to perform under pressure, earned him the nickname his Airness. The flu game during the 1997 NBA Finals, where he scored 38 points despite battling severe illness, exemplified his legendary status and further solidified his reputation as one of the greatest players in the history of the game. As Jordan's career progressed, so too did his impact on the global stage. The NBA began to experience unprecedented growth in popularity, both in the United States and internationally. Jordan's charisma and skill helped elevate the league to new heights, attracting fans from all corners of the globe. His participation in the Olympic Games, particularly the Dream Team in 1992, showcased not only his talent, but also the global appeal of basketball. The team, which featured the greatest players of the era, captured the gold medal in Barcelona, further solidifying Jordan's status as a global ambassador for the sport. However, the latter part of Jordan's career was not without its challenges. After retiring for the second time in 1998, he took on a new role as an executive and minority owner of the Washington Wizards. Though he returned to the court in 2001, his time with the Wizards was marked by struggles and a departure from the dominant force he had once been. Nevertheless, his influence continued to shape the game as he mentored younger players and remained an active figure in the basketball community. Jordan's legacy extends beyond statistics and championships. It is woven into the very fabric of sports culture. He has become a symbol of excellence, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. His impact can be seen in the way athletes approach their craft, the way brands market their products, and the way fans connect with the game. The aura surrounding Michael Jordan is not just about basketball. It is about the embodiment of a spirit that inspires individuals to strive for their best, to push boundaries, and to believe in the possibility of greatness. As the years have passed, Jordan's mythos has only grown. Documentaries, books, and countless articles have explored his life, his career, and the indelible mark he left on the sport. The release of The Last Dance, a documentary series chronicling the Chicago Bulls dynasty and Jordan's pivotal role within it, reignited interest in his legacy and introduced a new generation to the man behind the legend. In the realm of sports, few figures have achieved the level of influence and reverence that Michael Jordan commands. His journey from a young boy in Wilmington to a global icon is a narrative that resonates deeply, illustrating the power of determination, talent, and the pursuit of excellence. Michael Jordan is not just a basketball player, he is a symbol of what it means to strive for greatness, to overcome adversity, and to leave a lasting legacy that inspires countless individuals around the world. The Chicago Bulls, a team that has etched its legacy into the annals of basketball history, were not merely defined by their wins and losses, or the accolades they amassed. Their greatness transcended the hardwood, rooted deeply in a unique blend of intangibles that shaped not only their success, but also the very essence of the game itself. Among these intangibles, leadership, sacrifice, and an unwavering belief in one another emerged as the foundational pillars that propelled the Bulls to unparalleled heights during their dynasty in the 1990s. At the helm of this extraordinary team was Michael Jordan, a player whose influence extended far beyond his impressive statistics. Jordan's leadership was not just about leading by example. It was about inspiring his teammates to elevate their own performances. He possessed an innate ability to push those around him, demanding excellence, not only from himself, but also from his fellow players. This relentless pursuit of greatness fostered an environment where mediocrity was simply unacceptable. Jordan's competitive spirit was contagious, igniting a fire within his teammates that fueled their collective ambition. The impact of his leadership was particularly evident during high-pressure moments, where he often rose to the occasion, demonstrating an unwavering confidence that reassured his teammates and instilled a sense of purpose within the entire organization. Beneath the surface of individual brilliance, the Bulls thrived on an unshakable team chemistry that was cultivated through shared experiences and mutual respect. The cohesion of the team was evident in their seamless ball movement and unselfish play. Each player understood their role and the importance of putting the team's success above personal accolades. This selflessness was a hallmark of their style of play, allowing them to achieve remarkable feats, such as their record-setting 72 wins in the 1995-96 season. The players often spoke of a bond that transcended the court, a camaraderie forged through countless hours spent practicing, traveling, and celebrating victories together. This strong connection fostered an environment where players felt comfortable voicing their thoughts and challenging one another, creating a culture of accountability that propelled the team forward. Sacrifice, too, was an essential ingredient in the Bulls' recipe for success. Each player understood that individual glory would often need to be set aside for the greater good of the team. The willingness to put the team's needs ahead of personal aspirations was embodied by Scottie Pippen, whose contributions extended far beyond his statistics. Pippen was the quintessential glue guy, a player whose versatility allowed him to excel in multiple facets of the game. He took on challenging defensive assignments, often guarding the opposing team's best player, while also facilitating the offense and contributing in crucial moments. Pippen's selflessness and commitment to team success exemplified the sacrifices made by every member of the roster, from the starters to the role players. This collective mindset cultivated a spirit of unity that was palpable, allowing the Bulls to weather adversity and emerge stronger as a team. The belief in one another was perhaps the most profound intangible that defined the Bulls' greatness. Each player had an unwavering faith in their teammates' abilities, a trust that transcended the fear of failure. This belief was built over time, through shared victories and the overcoming of challenges. The Bulls faced formidable opponents, from the Detroit Pistons' bad boys to the New York Knicks, but their confidence in each other never wavered. They understood that the journey to greatness was fraught with obstacles, yet they approached each challenge with a collective resolve that fostered a sense of invincibility. The iconic moments of the Bulls dynasty, such as Michael Jordan's buzzer beater in the 1989 playoffs against the Cleveland Cavaliers, were not merely individual triumphs, but rather manifestations of the trust and belief that permeated the entire team. In addition to the core players, the coaching staff played a crucial role in nurturing the intangibles that made the Bulls special. Phil Jackson, the head coach, brought a unique philosophy that emphasized the importance of mindfulness and self-awareness. His approach, often referred to as the Zen master style, encouraged players to focus on the present moment and to embrace the collective journey. Jackson fostered an environment where players were encouraged to express themselves, both on and off the court. He implemented the triangle offense, a system that emphasized ball movement and spacing, allowing players to thrive in their roles while maintaining a cohesive team dynamic. This offensive philosophy, combined with Jackson's ability to manage personalities and egos, created a harmonious atmosphere where players felt empowered to contribute to the team's success. The Bulls' success was not just a product of talent, it was a culmination of the intangibles that defined their identity. Leadership, sacrifice, and belief in one another created a synergy that propelled the team to heights previously unseen in the sport. Each championship they won was a testament not only to their skill, but also to the deep-seated connections forged among the players. The legacy of the Chicago Bulls endures, not merely as a collection of championships, but as a vivid reminder of the power of teamwork, perseverance, and the belief that greatness is attainable when individuals come together for a common purpose. In the hearts and minds of basketball enthusiasts, the story of the Bulls serves as an enduring inspiration, a gentle reminder that the essence of the game lies not only in the points scored, but in the bonds formed along the way. As we journey back to the iconic era of basketball in the 1990s, we find ourselves immersed in the remarkable story of the Chicago Bulls, a team that not only dominated the sport but also transformed the landscape of professional basketball. The Bulls, under the guidance of their enigmatic leader Michael Jordan, captured the imagination of fans across the globe. Their story is one woven with threads of extraordinary talent, intense rivalry, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. In the 1991 NBA Finals, the Chicago Bulls made their first appearance on the grand stage, facing off against the Los Angeles Lakers, a franchise steeped in history and success. The Lakers, led by the legendary Magic Johnson, had long been the standard-bearers of excellence in the league. However, the Bulls, with their fierce determination and the dazzling skills of Michael Jordan, were ready to etch their names into the annals of basketball history. In a series that showcased the artistry of the sport, the Bulls triumphed, winning the series 4-1. This victory was not merely a championship, it was a declaration that a new dynasty was rising. As we move into the following seasons, it becomes clear that the Bulls were not content with just one title. In the 1992 NBA Finals, they faced the Portland Trail Blazers, a team boasting an impressive roster led by Clyde Drexler. The series unfolded in a manner that only added to the legend of Michael Jordan. In Game 1, he delivered a breathtaking performance, famously sinking 6 three-pointers in the first half, a feat that left fans and analysts alike in awe. The Bulls again emerged victorious, taking the series 4-2. With this second championship, the Bulls solidified their position as a force to be reckoned with in the league. The 1993 season brought another opportunity for greatness. The Bulls, now seasoned champions, faced the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals. The Suns, a team known for their up-tempo style and the brilliance of Charles Barkley, posed a formidable challenge. However, the Bulls, with their unwavering focus and the indomitable spirit of Michael Jordan, prevailed in a thrilling 6-game series. This victory marked the Bulls' third consecutive championship and solidified their legacy as one of the greatest teams in NBA history. Yet, as the sun set on the Bulls' three-peat, a shadow loomed over the franchise. In the summer of 1993, Michael Jordan shocked the world by announcing his retirement from basketball. The news reverberated throughout the sports community, leaving fans and players alike grappling with the absence of one of the greatest athletes to ever grace the court. Jordan's retirement was not merely a personal decision, it was a turning point for the entire league. The Bulls, without their leader, faced a challenging season in 1994, leading to a second-round playoff exit. But the story of the Chicago Bulls was far from over. In the spring of 1995, Michael Jordan returned to the court, re-entering the fray as if he had never left. The Bulls, rejuvenated by his presence, quickly regained their dominance. The team added the enigmatic forward Dennis Rodman, known for his rebounding prowess and unique personality, which provided a new dimension to the Bulls' already formidable lineup. Rodman's arrival, combined with the steady contributions of Scottie Pippen and the strategic brilliance of head coach Phil Jackson, formed a formidable foundation for the Bulls' resurgence. In the 1996 NBA Finals, the Bulls faced the Seattle Supersonics, a team that had earned its place among the league's elite. The Bulls, however, were on a mission. They had finished the regular season with an unprecedented 72 wins, setting a record that would stand for decades. The finals showcased the Bulls' relentless pursuit of excellence as they dismantled the Supersonics in 6 games, claiming their 4th championship. This victory marked the beginning of a second three-peat, a feat that had not been accomplished since the Boston Celtics of the 1960s. The following season, in 1997, the Bulls continued their dominance, once again reaching the NBA Finals, this time against the Utah Jazz. The Jazz, led by the formidable duo of Karl Malone and John Stockton, presented a different challenge. Yet the Bulls, with the poise of Jordan and the resilience of Pippen, emerged victorious in 6 games, securing their 5th championship. Each victory added to the mythology surrounding the team, and Michael Jordan's reputation as a clutch performer grew with each passing game. As we reached the pinnacle of the Bulls' dynasty, the 1998 season unfolded with a sense of impending change. The team, despite its continued success, faced internal strife and uncertainty. The whispers of a potential breakup echoed throughout the organization as the front office contemplated the future of the franchise. Yet, amidst the turmoil, the Bulls remained focused on their goal, a 6th championship. The NBA Finals once again brought them face-to-face with the Utah Jazz, a team eager for redemption. In a series that would be etched in the memories of fans, the Bulls triumphed in 6 games, with Michael Jordan's iconic jump shot clinching the series and securing their 6th championship. The conclusion of the 1998 season marked the end of an era. The Chicago Bulls, having achieved the remarkable feat of winning 6 championships in 8 years, left an indelible mark on the sport of basketball. The legacy of this team transcends mere statistics. It is a narrative filled with passion, perseverance, and the pursuit of greatness. The Bulls' story is timeless, resonating with fans who witnessed their triumphs and those who have come to appreciate their legacy, long after the final buzzer sounded. As we reflect on the enduring impact of the Chicago Bulls, we recognize that their legacy is not confined to the trophies they lifted or the records they set. It is a story that speaks to the heart of sports itself, the ability to inspire, to unite, and to transcend the boundaries of time and place. The Bulls of the 1990s remind us of the beauty of competition, the thrill of victory, and the importance of teamwork. Their journey resonates with fans around the world, a testament to the power of sport to evoke emotion and create lasting memories. Even as the years pass and the landscape of basketball continues to evolve, the Chicago Bulls remain a beacon of excellence, a symbol of what can be achieved through hard work, determination, and a shared vision. Their story continues to inspire new generations of players and fans alike, reminding us that greatness is not merely measured in championships but in the spirit of the game itself. The Bulls, with their extraordinary journey, will forever hold a cherished place in the hearts of those who love the sport of basketball.